Monaco Pizza presents STP. The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle and Adam
Hey,
Wild.
guys.
Hey,
Tell me how this strikes you. Mona Niemi.
see,
Mona Niemi.
I read
As
it.
in Mona Me.
That's what I...
Mona Niemi. Right?
What are you doing?
Right? Because Niemi was picked up by the Habs today, and people in Quebec are known to speak French.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Order at Panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.
That's it.
That should be the end of the show. That should
Mona
be the end
Niemi.
of the show.
Listen, that
I don't
was
want to
good.
continue after Mona Niemi. It's terrible. Got started on the wrong foot. I don't like it.
You know, when Andrew Berkshire comes to town, we should have t-shirts made Mona Niemi.
No, we should. I already
he's-
got him a Jerkshire 69 jersey.
My Mona Niemi is Andrew Berkshire, for sure. For sure.
I talked to Berkshire for like an hour yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Berkshire, who is a father, about anime.
Wow.
From when we were kids.
See, it's good to know that we don't have to grow up. This generation's like, yeah, screw it, not happening. So
Okay, we're gonna tackle a lot of hockey things in this show. When do we want to discuss the travesty that happened with Pikachu?
I think.
Oh, that's later. That's later.
No,
We're
I
saving
think we
it.
should spend the entire 2 hours on that.
Yes. All right.
We do need to talk about that, but that's later.
Okay. Good. You
don't know,
save that.
Adam.
You save that. Because I'm hot.
Carey Price.
But Pikachu
But Carey Price.
can speak English.
Obviously, Carey Price has an issue.
For the next couple games, it sounds like they're going to have to put Carey Price back in his Pokeball. You see, because
Mona Niemi. Mona. I feel more a little like that. I feel like that.
what Pokemon would Carey Price be?
No.
I'm going to say Golem.
John Liu from TSN says, Price says that if today was a playoff game, he would play.
Oh yeah. Don't quote Eric Engels from Sportsnet.
Well,
or
I
anything.
didn't see
no,
Eric's tweets come
just
up.
go with nope.
All right, fine. I'm listening.
No,
I'm
I'm
just trying to
joking.
get-
I'm joking.
Trying to
Jesse
get
sent the
some-
screenshot. Adam, I'm busting your balls.
All right.
We should restart.
No.
I
no.
think we should. Order at Panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.
What's interesting here is Eric Engels does say he about Zach Fucale, because they could have just called up Zach Fucale.
Fukali.
He doesn't have NHL experience and spent most of last year in the ECHL. However, Anthony Niemi, I think he had, what did he let in, like 18 goals in 2 or 3 games?
Now, here's what Mark Bergevin said there. Well, we could have Zach Fukali back up, but you see, he's bad. Then why did you claim Anthony Niemi?
Because, see, he's,
Well, you know what? He
As
might
bad.
be bad, but he's used to it.
in my
See,
opinion,
there's a difference.
Anthony Niemi is as bad. Zach Fucale, as bad as Anthony Niemi has been, Zach Fucale has been as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's old and used to being bad, and we need that kind of leadership on our team.
What?
I love how there was a little trade. There was a little teeny trade. Little teeny trade between
Yeah, I think-
Arizona and Tampa, and we thought, what an exciting morning. Nikita Soshnikov gets called up. What an exciting morning.
So-
and the Habs just decide to go, do, do, do,
Yeah.
do, do, do. Oh, a very merry unbirthday to you, sir. We claim Anthony Niemi. We're going to have a press conference with our GM and goalie. Oh, I love it. I just
I love that they're
that
actually
team.
they're having
Non-stop
so they're
hits.
having a press conference with Carey Price
I
to
think
talk about Carey Price's
right now,
injury. It's happening right now.
or like it might have just ended. Yeah.
To talk about his injury. And I guess he got hurt in warm-up. Eric Engels tweeted this about Bergevin. We have 2 young goalies, and with Al Montoya having a concussion, it could be 2 or 3 it could be 2 weeks or 2 months. We wanted to protect the organization.
Okay. So you have a guy who can like legally play goaltender, I guess. Like, look, I understand the logic, but what are you doing? It's Anthony Niemi. Like, okay, Louis Domingue was obviously available, and Michael Leighton was available. Couldn't have got any of those guys. No, I guess you would have had to give something up.
Well, Tampa Bay certainly did. They acquired Louis Domingue from the Arizona Coyotes for Michael Leighton, and time again, Leighton has not been great with the crunch. 3-3-2 with an .868 save percentage. Woohoo! And 303 goals against. McGinn has 2 goals and 3 assists with the crunch this year. And I guess Domingue appeared in 7 games with the Coyotes already this season. And he, are you ready for this save percentage?
How as bad was he?
.856.
Good God.
and a 4.33 goals against average. Now, again, flawed stat, and we should talk about that because we were talking about that in the garage.
Yes, and I'm eager to hear Jesse's input on Adam's little theory.
But I guess the Syracuse Crunch, they wanted to try Louis Domingue for the Syracuse Crunch, so I guess that's why Tampa Bay got him.
Man, I guess.
So we're talking about, one of the things you talked about with Andrew Berkshire yesterday was goaltending stats. And he said, what did he say about Freddie Anderson?
Well, he basically he wrote this a couple weeks ago, but it was about the Leafs hot streak and the Leafs cold streak and what to read out of both of them. And he said the one concerning thing is, Freddie has been bad, but he expects it to come up. But some of the goals he's let in have been bad. So what I wanted to talk to him about was, so many of the goals that have gone in on Freddie Anderson have been tip-ins. So, what does a tip-in count as?
Is that a shot
is
in
it
close?
Is it a shot from where the tip occurs? Is it a shot from where the shot occurs? Now, he told me they're categorized as deflections, which I think is the right way to do it. But to call it a shot at all is not true. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not I don't know what you call it, but so many goals have gone in off of tips from the opposition, and more concerningly, and this is where conversation started, from his own teammates.
Right. So you mentioned something about Carey Price that Andrew knows.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to divulge too much information on account of Berkshire works for a statistics company, but yada, 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 a lot of pucks go in off of Habs defensemen.
Right. And we also know from that same stats company that X amount, we can't really say because, again, you'd have to pay Sport Logic for it, X amount of goals go in off of Leaf defenders, especially I think it was the Gardner-Zaitsev pairing that, we know they've been bad this year.
Remember.
But
Probably.
regardless of that, we were thinking about a concept, and producer Jesse, we want to bring this by you because you're a baseball guy. So in baseball,
This isn't Kiss. You don't have to call me producer Jesse.
I know, I get used to calling you that. Sorry.
Hey, Dick!
Hey, guy. No, so what we were talking about was the in baseball, you got your earned runs and you get your runs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in soccer, there's own goals, right? You score on your own net. In hockey, if it goes off Nikita Zaitsev's butt and goes in past Freddie Anderson, it still counts against his save percentage and goals against average. And I wondered if that should count as more like an error. So it's a run, but it's not an earned run. Do you know what I'm saying? So Freddie Anderson, is it an accurate depiction if Freddie Anderson doesn't make a save off a puck that was redirected and he had no chance on? Is it an accurate depiction of his stats to say that goal counted?
Isn't every goal something that he doesn't have a chance on?
Not in Freddie's case.
That's why I went by him.
Oh, that's why I went by him.
Yeah.
No, I see what you mean. Well, I think tip-ins from the other team count. So
obviously.
they meant to do it.
Yeah.
But if it goes in off your own guy, I guess the stat is basically, what the stat currently says in the way that it's counted is you're expected to make saves on your own players.
Yeah.
Like let's say that.
That is your job, I guess.
But yeah, I have a hard, because it's kind of different in goaltending because your job is to just stop the puck. It doesn't matter where it comes from. Even if it's an accident off of the other guy or if it's an accident off your guy, it's still your job to stop the puck. So I have a hard time giving them leeway to be like, hey, you didn't stop the puck this time because it was more random than the other times the puck was coming.
Would you not say that the same is to be said about pitchers?
No, because if a ball goes to shortstop and it just goes through the shortstop leg and the guy comes in from third base, that's entirely out of the pitcher's hands.
But the pitcher's teammate made a mistake leading to a point for the other team.
Right.
Yes, so it's not a run on him. That's a play that should have been made. But in the goaltender's case, the play that should have been made was on him always because the puck is always coming at him, and we're judging, hey, when the puck is coming at you, how well did you do?
Well, and I guess then you could make that same argument. Well, why did the guy get to hit the ball in the first place? Right? If it's baseball, why did he make contact at all?
Well, an error can occur on a catcher missing a strike. So it's not necessarily the guy made contact. And the pitcher put the ball in the hitter put the ball in play.
I'm not sure I'm sold on it, though. I'm not sure I'm sold here.
Where the defender was supposed to make the play on the ball. So the pitcher did his job. It's not like the goalie did his job in this case.
Right.
The goalie's job is to stop the puck. He didn't stop it.
Okay, total hypothetical here. Let's say Shea Weber takes a shot from the point and it misses. Dion Phaneuf misses. Okay, like it goes to Saturn.
Yeah.
Okay, but Morgan Rielly makes a wild catch in the corner, and instead of trying to bring it down, he catches the puck. The wild Shea Weber. But he throws it down.
Like Mark Bergevin did back in his playing days.
Yeah, he threw
the puck in his own net.
Throws it down on the ice. Yeah, and okay, perfect. And then throws it into his own net. How is that Freddie Anderson's fault?
I think the answer to this is that one stat that covers everything isn't a good stat. It's like the same way we don't use wins and losses in baseball anymore because you don't know the nuances of the game. So when you're looking at analytics and stats for hockey, you can't be looking at save percentage as an all-encompassing stat anymore because
or goals against average
or anything because the game is so nuanced.
And goalie statistics are getting much better.
You need to be going to people like Sportlogic who break down each play and break down each occurrence in a game.
Here's what we really need to start talking about: peer pressuring Berkshire using this show to write things, answering the things we have questioned to.
Yeah. It should just be like like SDPFL.
Here's another
SDP fan reaction. SDPFR. SDPABR. Andrew Berkshire reaction.
No, I got it. How about this one? It's just called, how about this one? Because whenever I ask him something, I'm like, all right, how about this? No.
You're missing this. But actually, with Andrew Berkshire. So he takes
actually.
So he takes something and he's like, "You guys think this, Burke actually."
Burke Andrewly.
Burke.
I'm gonna drink this coffee till it's done. I'm sorry.
You know, he's gonna listen to this and be like, "I hate those guys. I can't even associate with these people. What's wrong with them?"
You know what? He can act high and mighty with me because we spent like an hour talking about Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z yesterday.
Well,
so
okay, fair enough.
I don't feel bad.
Is it fair to say that coaches don't look at stats like save percentage? They look at
I think some of them do.
Some of them
I think some of them still do.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
I think coaches are very simple when it comes to goalies. Should it have gone in? Shouldn't it have gone in? You know? I think they go, how many times per game am I going, damn it? Really wish you would have had that. You know, like, I want to say it was Connor Carrick or Dominic Moore or Matt Martin. I don't remember who it was, but that terrible Derek Engelland goal. All Babcock can really control is, defensive breakout, how his team changes lines and everything. He can scold Carrick for a mistake there. He can scold Moore. He can scold Martin. He's not the goalie coach. And most coaches, I think, will tell you they're not the goalie coach, save for Patrick Waugh. That might have been a weird little relationship there.
Well, you can't tell him anything. He has Stanley Cups plugging his ears.
He's a very scary man.
But he seems very intense, yes.
Okay, so, sorry, that was a very long way of going, yada, yada, yada. Mistakes were made leading up to that shot attempt by Derek Engelland. Stop the friggin' puck. You know what? You made an interesting point. It's just their job to stop the puck, and every time a puck goes in, it was a mistake.
Yeah.
Every time. Every single time.
That's why I don't like you guys being like, hey, let's give him a break for deflections.
I just wonder
if you look at the plays
if it wouldn't be more accurate to say that, well, I mean, you can't count that goal against them because it wasn't them that put it in. If Morgan Rielly hadn't spiked the puck into the net, like he's Ben Roethlisberger and just runs 80 yards.
Did Freddie Anderson sit there and just watch Morgan Rielly come over and throw a puck into his net? If he did,
no,
because
Morgan Rielly said, "Look at that shiny thing, Freddie," and distracted him.
See,
right?
You don't want a goalie who gets distracted by shiny things. I think that's the problem.
You know what? You're right. He makes a solid point.
A more realistic point, though. Okay, Shea Weber takes an 85-mile-an-hour slap shot. Relatively slow by his standards. It's tipped by Morgan Rielly in the slot. Going 85 miles an hour, which is, I don't know, something like 140 kilometers an hour.
So now it's probably bouncing.
So it's changed direction suddenly, going at that speed because of his own teammate. maybe 15 feet in front of him, 10 feet in front of him. You have no all you can do is set yourself for the situation in front of you, and then your own teammate screwed it up.
But what's the difference if Riley tips it or if somebody on the Habs tips it?
Well, then they should be rewarded for, I don't know.
Both times it would have went in. Both times your job is to stop the puck.
It's like I said, like Berkshire's company does take account of deflections. He didn't tell me exactly how specifically, but I think that's important. I don't really think you can be like, well, Freddie Anderson's susceptible to deflections. All goalies!
Yeah.
Like, that's the hardest thing to stop.
Yeah.
Is you always...
Well, that's why they do them, because every goalie struggles with them. If there's one thing goalies struggle with, it's pucks changing directions at 100 miles an hour.
Would JVR have any goals in his career if he couldn't deflect pucks?
I don't think so.
No.
How many JVR goals going off the wing? Like, you know what I mean? It'd be like Phil
As many as you
Esposito.
think.
Yeah.
No,
As in zero?
Yeah.
Because I think zero. Is it minus?
man, you want to talk...
-4 goals.
JVR's goals are from here to like you to me. I am
yeah.
JVR, you are goalie.
Oh, yeah.
And he could bat that puck in.
You
no one
wanna-
could bat
what
baseball
can he
bat
do?
that puck like him.
He can bat
Get it
that
in.
puck.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a guy completely simplifying his game and getting results out of it in a week. Park your butt in front. Be JVR. Chara, you're a few years older. Not so easy to shove him out of the way, is it? Can't cross-check him in the spine anymore, can you?
He's going JV far, you might say.
Oh my God.
Woo! Man, I'm batting 1,000 already today. I'm feeling good.
I don't think so.
I don't think that's true at all.
Okay, so Nikita Soshnikov was up with the team in practice, and this is the best part about the Leafs. It's like, we'll announce that whenever we feel like it. So he was brought up, but they didn't actually make the announcement until after practice that he was brought up.
All the reporters were just like, so Nikita Soshnikov's here. He's on the ice. So
we're assuming he's up. So that means he's not going to the KHL. However, if he's brought back to the Marlies at any point from now on this season, he has the right to request a loan to the KHL.
Oh.
Interesting.
And if he plays 3 more games, he's no longer waiver exempt.
Huh.
So they got a decision to make on Sosh. They have, the way I see it, they have a 2-player decision to make. I'm not sure, given the circumstances, unless Sosh decides to be a really, really nice guy, how they can keep both Soshnikov and Levo. You got to make a decision.
That's funny because I remember you saying something similar about Frank Corrado last year.
Did I?
Well, it was just kind of like, well, you can't do this to a guy, and they did. They'll just keep him.
Well, no, this is the thing. They can't keep both of them.
Why not?
Groche went back down.
No, yeah,
Why can't one?
Oh, yeah, so I guess they just have 2 spares,
Yeah.
and they'll just have 2 spares.
What if-
maybe you're right.
What if they don't have enough chairs in the press box?
Oh, man. What if they run out of popcorn? Damn.
Do planes work? What if one of them needs to fly somewhere?
What if one of them had to fly from here to Vancouver today? How would they
do that?
How would they get there?
That's a throwback. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
I don't
there.
either, but I remember being like, you ever heard of a plane there, buddy?
Because we were traveling with the exact amount of right guys for our Western road trip, and Steve was like, how are they going to get a guy to the game?
Oh, if someone gets injured, what will they do? That's right.
Last season.
You know?
And I was merely pointing out time restrictions. Adam just freaking teleports. He says a Harry Potter spell and just appears in British Columbia. No, okay, so who are the Leafs' 3 spares then right now? It's Levo, Sosh, and Polak?
I would think so, yeah. Yeah. Has
All
to
right.
be.
Okay, well, yeah, if they
Pol-
want to do that, sure.
Honestly, if I would be really surprised, unless there's an injury, that Roman Polak plays much.
Yeah, no.
Like, I
Did
think
he play one of the back-to-backs against Boston?
I didn't see the Saturday night game in person, so I don't know.
That's right, we were together.
Yeah, we were at Chris Rock, so
I don't think he did. The Leafs won,
yeah.
so.
So that I mean that I think they finally realized, that there may not be any gas left in that tank.
Well, and there's been some good minor league news with regards to the Leafs, too. Martin Marincin has been very good.
Yeah, he's got 6 points in 9 games or something.
Oh my God, he's a dangler. In the AHL, no, his scoring's good, but TJ Brennan's scoring was good. His defense is a little better. Soshnikov, Scott Wheeler made a good point, and we made fun of Scott Wheeler for how he talked about Soshnikov when he was just a rookie. Apart from the contract stuff, Sosh earned this call-up. 12 points in 14 games, something like that. Like, Sosh does not score like that. So that was very impressive. We saw him with a very impressive penalty kill goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I do kind of see him as the sort of player that the Leafs could use down the line.
Well, and here's the thing.
If someone were to get
They
hurt.
have to look at him as a replacement for Leo Komarov.
Is everyone a replacement for Leo Komarov, Adam? Carl Grundstrom?
Well,
and
I think there's option there, for sure options there with Carl Grundstrom, but Nikita Soshnikov, you could argue, is further along. And he's a cheaper option. Doesn't mean I don't love Leo. But I mean, it's, you got three major guys, and that is going to be when it comes to trades and free agency, those three guys, Leo, Bozak, JVR, are going to be the guys that we focus on, because quite honestly, you got to have a look at where those guys are actually going to fit in the future, and if they fit in, and if it makes sense, although I don't think it does, to trade them this year or trade one of them this year and get some assets back. To me, it's like, let them walk, man. Go into the playoffs, load it up. You want to be Megatron going in. You want to have as much depth as you possibly can. In my lifetime,
1-4 straight.
The Leafs, in my lifetime, the Leafs made it all the way to the Eastern Conference semifinals and lost to the not even close to being as good Carolina Hurricanes because everybody was injured and they didn't have the depth.
Now, sometimes I look back on that. Is it good that the Leafs lost to the Hurricanes? They would have been murdered by Detroit. Like,
anything can happen in a 7-game series.
Stop. They would have been killed. No. Absolutely not. They would have been killed, and it would have hurt so much more.
Hey, man.
It would have hurt so much more.
I don't know.
I remember thinking to myself when the Leafs drew Carolina, oh my God, this is it. This is their shot. And then they lost, and I was so heartbroken. But looking back, if they lost in the Stanley Cup final, that's my nightmare. My nightmare is the Leafs make it back to the Stanley Cup final only to lose. I don't know if I could handle it. But it's okay. That's not going to happen. They're going to win.
You know what? I think that would be a drastic improvement on them not making the playoffs. Steve is so negative when it comes to this team that he loves.
And just wait until the next show when you have to pick up all the freaking pieces and I'm a puddle on this table. And I'm just weeping openly.
Better to have loved and lost. Just saying.
Bullshit.
By the way, Polak did not play either Friday or Saturday.
Thank you.
Okay. You know what? Part of me wanted him to be good.
Every part of me wanted him to be good.
I wanted him to be good like he was good in the playoffs last year until he blew up his knee.
I wanted Bolin to be good. I wanted Clarkson to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted Orr to have a hat trick alongside Fraser McLaren's 3-assist night.
And 4-goal career.
I wanted Jay McClement to bag 15 or 20. If you
minutes
put on
or
a
goals?
Leaf sweater, I'm a fan.
Minutes per night or goals for Jay McClement?
Both.
Because he was getting minutes.
High back slaps from average of 15 to 20 back slaps from Randy Carlyle a night. I wanted Peter Horacek to win a Jack Adams. I want a lot of things. I didn't get many of them.
True.
But I got Austin Matthews.
All right, so let's talk about this weekend. All of a sudden, the Leafs are on a 4-game winning streak. Beginning of last week, we were like, wow, boy, trouble in Leafland. And then 4 games later, and not only that, on Thursday's show, I believe we were still not very confident because they were 2 ugly wins.
They were 4 ugly wins.
Well,
okay, the 4th one was good.
No, Saturday was good.
Now, Friday night, you were at the game, and I got to say, it to me, and I tweeted this out, I thought it was a mature victory.
It was, no, you know what it was? Yeah, the Leafs looked like the better team, and the Bruins were mangled. Like, I didn't even recognize
that
half
Marchand
those
was
names.
even back was surprising.
Yeah, their top line was obviously great, but everything beyond that was very limited. So they coached a smart, simple, and Babcock nailed it, boring game. I like that he said that after the game because I remember just sitting there like, there's not a whole lot happening, is there? Leafs looked better, and then towards the end of the second, I look up and Boston's out shooting them, and I go, when? Mm-hmm. When did that happen? I could have swore the Leafs had more possession. So yeah, they looked like the better team against Boston. I guess my only thing is I said this at the beginning of the week, even when they were on the cold stretch. Your next 4 games are Vegas and their third goalie, Minnesota rested, Boston mangled.
Twice.
Boston tired mangled. You have a real chance to go 4 for 4. And they did. So should I take points away because they didn't look completely dominant in all of them?
No, and I think they're also coming out of a bad snap, which, as Mike Babcock said, and I think I said this last show, it's, usually your first win out of a cold streak is ugly. But the other thing, the reason I say mature is because the Leafs last year would not have tied that up in minute 59. It just wouldn't have happened. And
minute 60.
There was, minute 60 or whatever. I mean, it's not a...
I don't think that makes sense.
Yeah, me neither after I said it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. That's why I said 59.
You haven't asked me to divide yet.
No, minute 60 is the first minute of the playoff. First minute of overtime. No. Just dispute it. Cool. No. Minute 72. No, I thought it was really interesting that, obviously it was a JVR goal, the most JVR goal. Great setup from Mitch Marner.
All of them.
And what got me was that they were like, nope, not going to quit. Nope, not going to give up.
Well, I looked for like the most important parts, right? Marleau was Marleau. That, I counted for that. Leo was Leo. Naz was Naz. Like there weren't too many surprises there. Mitch, I would argue, was the Leafs' best forward.
I think in both games he was their best forward.
Like yeah, he looked great.
From what I've seen.
JVR bagged a bunch of goals in a JVR way. He looked like he was back. And goaltending was great. So I look for the things that we worried about. JVR's role on this team. And we had reason to question that. The guy was playing like 13 minutes a night. Mitch Marner. When is he ever going to put the puck in the net or put up a few points?
Finally does.
He's done that. Freddie has looked good as of late. Curtis McElhaney decided to be Curtis McElvesna. His new nickname. Jennings Laney. I don't know. Hart Laney. Art Ross, why not? Go for it. Art Ross Laney.
No,
I look for the most concerning things,
but there was poise. That's what I loved. Yeah. There was poise. There was confidence. There was last year. It felt like, and I know any Leaf fan going. And any young team, I'm sure Devils fans are going to see this a little bit this year. I'm sure that Tampa fans kind of remember a few years ago. I mean, they've had good veteran presence, superstars pass it off to good young superstars. Like, any team that had Marty St. Louis and Brad Richards and Vinny LeCavalier and then passed it down to Stamkos and Kucherov, that's pretty good progression. But this is a team that really didn't have a lot of superstar veteran leadership. And now we have a superstar. He's not playing. And the team goes, no, we're going to be fine. And we're going to come back and get this. Now, I get that there's a certain degree of luck in that. But then to come out in overtime and Mitch Marner saves Patrick Marleau's behind. Like, what a great back check.
That was Marleau's giveaway?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I believe so.
Trying to remember because all I remember was going, because it was right in front of me. That was I was behind the net.
And he gets it and sets up Patrick Marleau. It might have been Gardner. I don't know. It was Gardner, Marleau.
Marner to Gardner to Marleau.
Right.
Wait, were you behind the net lower bowl?
I was in the Reds.
Yeah, so you're lower bowl.
Yeah.
Did you go upstairs or not?
No, you're right.
Okay.
You're right. Sorry. No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Jesse, what floor are we on right now? Can you tell us? Second floor, everyone.
The one that's not on the ground.
I just got to say, I think I was really impressed by that. And then to come out the next game, and it's nice to see Mitch Marner score the first goal there. It was a rocket. It was awesome. It was a Mitch Marner goal. First goal since opening night. And it just seems like, and again, we understand where Boston's at. But that aside, I think it's really important. First off, 4 points to 1 point against a divisional rival. Huge. And confidence booster because Boston has always been, although apparently the Leafs have won 5 straight games against them, Boston has been a thorn in this team's side for, 10 years before that.
It's turned
They're
around.
Still sort of a boogeyman. They were a boogeyman.
Yeah, it's like Don Cherry always likes to brag about because he was coach of the Bruins.
Was he?
You know.
He never brings that up.
Never. No. Did you know he coached Bobby Orr?
No, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Gave him a little
in
smooch
Chicago?
on the cheek. No.
Oh.
No.
Where was that?
Boston.
Boston. Okay, all right.
No, he was coach of the Bruins when Daryl Sittler broke the NHL record and scored 10 points.
Right.
And he always likes to bring up, and then we didn't lose to the Leafs for 3 years. I like to think that, especially this team that's got like Brown and Hyman and Marner and all these guys who were young enough to be pissed off about that loss, Marner especially. I like to think they step it up against Boston. Something haunts me, man. Last year, Nylander gets his hat trick. The Leafs are up 4-1 on Boston, and the Leafs cough up the lead. Bruins tie at 4-4, and they just put the camera on Marner on the bench. He's just shaking his head. He's like, when I saw them do that, I was like, if I was there, there's no way that would have happened. And here, damn it,
here we are.
Leafs ended up winning that game.
Do you think he cares? He grew up like that? Do you think
he grew up a huge Leafs
I
fan?
like to think so.
Yeah,
like I wrote this thing before the 2015 draft. I was like, the Leafs really have an opportunity to draft a huge Leafs fan here. McDavid was an option, obviously. Marner, I want to say Lawson Krause, but also Dylan Strome was a big one. And there was one from his Instagram where he's like dressed up, Leafs jersey, Leafs scarf, and everything. And I think he was on his way to Maple Leaf Square to watch Game 7.
Oh, wow.
Or to watch one of the games in 2013. He was like 15 years old.
Yeah.
Which means Marner was 15 years old. You know? So I do think it matters. I like to think it does anyway.
Well, and I think, you know, if you grow up here, you sort of get it a little bit. You get you get the history a little bit more. Like it would be hard for me to jump into New York and understand what it's like to be a Rangers fan right away. It takes a while. Right?
Kind of like what Kiprio said.
Yeah.
With winning the cup, and everyone's like, "You got to do it," and he's like, "Okay, I'll try."
Yeah. That's a good point. Okay, I'll try.
Okay. Like it would have been different for Hyman because he was a little older and he was drafted by the Panthers. Brown would have been interesting because he was already drafted. He was drafted a year before that.
People forget how long he's been with the organization.
Yeah, he was drafted in 2012, I think it was, and he's got to be watching that like, team looks like it might suck. Could be good news for me. It ended up being true. So, yeah, I like to think that's why they beat Boston. It might just be because they're better.
The Rangers, by the way, who have won 6 in a row.
Unbelievable. Can you look up the wild card
That's amazing.
standings, please? Because
I got him.
oh, you got them
Yeah.
here?
What would
Okay.
you like to know?
I want to know who the top 3 teams in the Atlantic are
Tampa Bay,
with,
30 points.
because they're amazing. Okay.
Toronto
Hey,
with 24 points.
good for them.
Ottawa,
With
21 points in only 16 games.
Yeah,
Toronto's
that's
played
pretty
19.
good.
yeah, but look at their record. What's Ottawa's record?
5
3-5.
5
OTLs.
already.
Imagine you take like 2 of those, turn them into full wins because they only
Imagine you take away one.
they only got half losses. Like,
I know.
There was a point at which Ottawa was ahead of the Leafs and had a losing record.
Oh yeah.
Like they were ahead, they had more points because of the OTL. You know what? It's the way it's set up. I don't
Bettman
begrudge them.
500.
Yep.
That's what I keep talking about.
Anyways.
Now go through the Metro Division
it's New Jersey, Columbus, Washington.
with
24, 21, 21.
wow. Now what's the wild card look like?
Pittsburgh and the New York Islanders. 21 Pittsburgh, 20 the Islanders.
Who is the closest Atlantic team to a wild card spot?
The Detroit Red Wings.
No.
They're 3 back. It goes Rangers, Carolina, Philly, then Detroit with 18 points.
And the Islanders have 20 points. They're technically, it's just, they've played one less game than the Rangers, so that's why they're in and the Rangers are not.
Buckle up for the Metro Division. I think this is going to be the Eastern standings are going to be a mess this year.
Is a 9th place conference team going to make the playoffs?
It looks like it.
Which will be such a shame.
It looks like they might. But like it's going to be one of those situations where I think you make the top 3 in the Atlantic. Like there's going to be a lot of
And that's your only chance.
well, yeah, you're going to win and you're going to be 3rd in your division.
Yeah.
And then you're going to lose a game and be out of the playoffs entirely. I think it could be like that. And Metro, I mean, look how important a 1 or 2 point swing is there.
Mm-hmm.
You can go from, not first in the division, but actually, yeah, you could be first. What is it, 24 is first?
20. New Jersey's got 24 points, yeah.
That's not that dominant. And then 21-21?
21, yeah.
Man, That Metro division is
That's
insane.
the East is a mess.
Also,
I'm never going to get over the playoff format, though.
oh, it sucks. I hate
You're
it.
going to have a 9th place team as the 6th seed.
You think so?
If say the Islanders and the Rangers both won their next games and Ottawa lost 2 in a row, Ottawa sits in 9th in the conference, and then they're technically the 6th seed in that 3rd playoff position.
Yeah, because there's
in the
no way
Atlantic.
Detroit catches them. Well,
Yeah.
they could, but
They could, but it's not how it works.
yeah, it's funny. I'm looking at Detroit, Montreal, Boston, Buffalo. The rest of our division is just bad. They are 4 out of the bottom 5 in the conference.
And once again, we talk about Ottawa as the irrelevant team. No, the actual irrelevant team is the team we don't talk about at all, and that's Buffalo. Those poor guys. Wow. Wow, did I think they would be ahead of this.
I thought they'd be better than this.
Their
for
defense
sure.
is so bad. It's not good.
That minus 20 goal differential.
Oh my!
No, again, it's still...
Pittsburgh's got that too, but that's Antti Niemi's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, what,
Oh,
exactly.
and Matt Murray was in for one of those games.
That's
Oh, he
right.
was?
We were wrong about that.
People in the YouTube comments ripped us.
Burke actually.
Burke, actually. When is the cutoff? Here's a neat one. When's the cutoff for, it's early.
American Thanksgiving.
When is that?
I think
End of November.
2 Thursdays from now.
Yeah. Black Friday, baby. Woo! Let's go shopping.
All right. Okay. So those teams only have 2 more weeks but it's early.
Steve's checking his non-watch that he's not wearing.
have 2 more
I got him a
weeks.
nice watch for his wedding too, and he's not wearing
Oh,
it.
was it engraved?
I meant to get it engraved, but I hung on to
He
it.
also gave it to me 3 years late. And I
yeah,
had to
because
get a
I meant
battery
to,
for it.
I kept meaning to get it engraved, and I didn't. So I was just like,
tell
"Here
me
you go."
This story started out as, I got Steve this great thing.
Well, I
And
mean,
then
that
we-
is the crux of the story.
And then we dive deep into the details.
We went
And
deep
find
into the
out.
analytics.
yeah.
Although my Italian uncle was very impressed by it. I wore it to a wedding. He just looks down at my wrist and goes, huh, Big Ben. So Italian.
Big Ben.
Big Ben. And I was like, yeah.
That's awesome. I've
pretty
never heard
nice.
anybody chirp like that. That's a big
Ben, where'd you get that? Big Ben. I don't know.
Send us a
Maybe-
shot of
maybe
your
feel
Big
proud
Ben,
of my
everybody. Send us a shot of your Big Ben, everybody.
Hey, Big Ben.
Okay, so no games till Thursday. So the Leafs and Steve are taking a well-deserved break right now. The LFRs must have been a little bit grueling. What is it, 8 games in the last 2 weeks they've played?
Well, and they were all either podcast days or Sundays, which those are all hard. Those are all hard.
The Leafs are 5-5, by the way, in their last 10.
Well, yeah, because they went through a bad...
Yeah.
It could have been 3-7, right?
Yeah. It's like, it's funny. We were joking earlier. It's very easy for me to be the pessimist because that's just what I do when it comes to the Leafs. But at the beginning of their streak, I think they won a game to make themselves 9-7. And I said that out loud, and Mrs. Dangle goes, "Is that good?" And I went, "It's better than 8-7." So, you know what? They're 5-5 in their last 10. Weren't they 2-6?
Last year?
Or something like that? No, they were 2-6 in 8 games, I think, before this 4-game streak.
Oh, I meant last year, though. Last year at this time, they maybe had 3 or 4 wins.
The Leafs had 2 wins last October.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't, so.
People don't forget. Hey, so it's an interesting piece in The Athletic this morning about JVR. Jonas Siegel wrote it.
Oh.
And he's talking about JVR's deployment, and he actually goes into detail. But I'm just going to top line it for you.
Sure.
But I find it very, very interesting. Can anybody tell me what his average ice time was 3 years ago?
18 minutes per game.
About 15.
Okay.
That's 2015, 2016
Aggressive.
when the Leafs first season with Mike Babcock.
Okay.
Okay, last season
17 minutes.
13 and a half.
Oh, Jesus.
What is his average ice time this season?
It's, I assume, 19 minutes. No, I'm going to say 13.
Just over 11 minutes a game.
Really?
That's even strength.
I feel robbed.
You should have told him that.
I know, but I didn't want to. It was more fun that way. So, but 2013, 2014, JVR's average 5-on-5 ice time was 16 and a half minutes. That's without power play, right? And he is a staple on the power play.
Yeah.
So he's playing 5-on-5, 11 minutes a night. He is on pace for 41 goals and 68 points, both career highs. 40. Now, I think so, I don't know what his shooting percentage is. So if we don't mind looking that up, that'd be great. But I just found Jonas Siegel said, career best, 41 goals and 68 points. Somebody's going to pay stupid money for that, first off. Second, that is fantastic for a guy that, he is entering his prime. And you do want that. And it seems like he's kind of figured out.
He's in his prime.
Okay.
I would say he's in
his prime for the next 2-3 years, right?
Well, that's the problem with, you want a guy who's entering his prime. You have no problem signing him to a long-term deal because he'll work into his prime, and then he'll be in his prime, and then you'll still get him tailing off just a little bit. If you get a guy who's in the middle of his prime and you sign him for 8 years, it's a problem.
So interesting, you should mention his shooting percentage, Adam, because this year he's shooting 17.3%.
So that's a little high.
It's a little high.
His previous season high is 12.9.
Wow, okay. That's not... it's pretty high.
Last year he was 12.2. Years before that, last 3 years, it was 10.9.
So assuming that comes back to earth a little bit, maybe he outshoots his career high in terms of shooting percentage, but assuming that comes back to earth, that still could be 30 goals.
Absolutely. I mean, we're talking about a guy who scored 3 goals in his last 2 games. So
his percentage is a little high. But I just found that interesting that they are deploying him in a way that he's pretty much always fresh when he gets out there. And he is positionally better than I think he's ever been. And I think that's really, it speaks to the depth of the organization, positionally on the offensive side of the puck.
Oh, I was like,
not defense, no.
Yeah, well, that is the problem.
But I think that's part of the reason why they don't play him 5-on-5 that much, because he is a liability defensively.
All right.
Shelter him.
I agree.
If that's what he is, then play him that way.
But do you want to give all that money to that kind of player?
Well, no, and I've been saying there's no way they need a guy like that. They don't need him.
No.
They don't. Don't tell me, though, there isn't 2 guys in the Marley system that can't come in and give you 40 goals.
Well,
not each, but...
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I will absolutely tell you that.
Don't. I don't want to know. I'm going to bury my head in the sand. But, Kapanen could score... Levo could get 15. Kapanen could score 15. 20.
What I saw some people talking about, I don't remember what it was. There's no one on the Leafs right now, and I can't think of anyone in the system who can do what JVR does in front of the net, though.
No, you're right.
Let's say he gets injured tomorrow and never plays a game for the Leafs ever again. Who replaces what he does?
Nobody. They can't do that. But I think that's true of most teams. I don't think most teams have what he has.
They don't have, surplus of everybody.
Yeah.
It's funny, because of the Leafs whole, we keep getting told about how stocked this cupboard is thing. I keep going, all right, who's the Marlies version of Kadri? Who's the Marlies version of JVR? Who's the Marlies Riley?
There's no Marlies Matthews, that's for sure.
Yes, there is. His name is Colin Greening, and they can call him up and slot him in, and it's no problem.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I really hope that. I mean, I love JVR, but I think this is it. It's a great way to go out, and he'll be great in the playoffs. He always is.
It's a great way to go. Where are you casting?
Go score 41. You go score 41 goals, and then go sign for obnoxious millions somewhere else. Hopefully Montreal.
What?
I hope it's Montreal, because that still won't solve any of their problems.
That would make for so many fun games.
It would be.
If they give him 6 in 6 years, I'd be happy with that.
The Leafs or Montreal?
Montreal.
Oh, it'd be great with it, because they still can't get a number 1 center or a number 2 center.
Yeah.
Drouin's playing well. He's playing well.
Who was the coach who made JVR play center? I'm trying to remember. Was it Carlisle?
Horacek.
They made him do it for 1 game.
Horacek, I think.
And I think it was heading into the season, they were like, hey, if we need you to play center, can you do it? And he goes, yeah, okay. And then a situation arose where he actually had to, and he was like, man, I said I could, not I want to. and I think the Leafs got killed 5-1 or something that
Makes
night.
sense.
I go at morning.
As it turns out, hard.
Some notes from the skates skate today. Nylander's out sick. I guess he's got the cold or the flu. Bozak took a maintenance day, probably just some rest. And Matthews obviously skated on his own.
Back on the ice.
Yeah, back in the ice again today. We'll practice with the team tomorrow. We'll see. Playing the Devils on Thursday. Better take those guys seriously now, huh?
Well, I saw the Devils kick the Leafs' ass in the first game that I saw this season.
I was at that game too.
Oh, that's right.
That's the one. How many games have they lost this year? 7?
At home, not many.
At home, 3. And I was at one of them.
And I happen to be one of them. Awesome. Great. What was the final score in the Devils game last night? Because last I checked, it was 7-5.
The final score was 7-5
for New Jersey over Chicago.
Over Chicago, yeah.
They're
and the
for
other
real,
game
man.
was it was crazy too. Carolina whooped. Who did they whoop?
Oh, we don't
It was
talk about that.
5-1 over Dallas.
Oh, we don't talk about that. No, I'm in trouble because
Why?
of that one. I'm in trouble.
Why?
So, Mrs. Dangle has possibly the worst hockey pool of all time.
What?
Like the way it's scored.
Okay, I have a story about this last night too. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. It is horrendous. So if a player gets dropped onto waivers from another person in your pool, you're not allowed to claim them. They're just dead.
What?
Yeah, they
Forever?
just forever.
For the entire season.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
if somebody
you're not
dropped
pl-
Matthews.
You're not playing real hockey. Fantasy.
So
Like, that doesn't make sense.
some moron in her pool dropped Mark Stone, who has 12 goals and 7
and she
assists.
can't
or
pick him
whatever.
up.
Now, here's the other thing. So I was going to suggest she had Sebastian Aho, who was her worst player and didn't have a goal. I was going to suggest dropping Sebastian Aho and getting Mark Stone. Now, a bunch of people on Twitter roasted me for this. Oh, as if Stone is going to shoot 20% forever and Aho is going to shoot 0%. You pleb. Here is the second reason why she is the dumbest pool ever. However many points a player on waivers has already, if you claim them off waivers, you just get their points.
That's so stupid.
You just get them.
So dropping Sebastian Aho would give you more points.
Yeah,
But
he had 8 and Stone had 19, so she would go up 11 points.
But I thought nobody could claim if somebody drops them and they pass through waivers.
So
then you can't claim them?
We did not know the first part, the if someone dropped a player. Now, we saw Jonathan Huberdeau was also on waivers.
Yeah.
And so we go, did anyone drop him? Now, we were just inquiring. We went, and did anyone drop Huberdeau? And the manager of the pool went, nope, here you go, and just made the trade without, we didn't actually ask Aho for Huberdeau.
Yeah.
And then, so she has a 15-point lead in her pool now. Like, it's hilarious. She's killing it. But then, all
her
I see is,
husband works for Sportsnet, so
Well-
I don't think it's really fair.
well, okay, she's also out of trades. So she's out of waiver claims. So hopefully no one gets hurt. And then
Wait a second. There's a limit on that?
3.
Okay.
She's in the worst pool of all time.
So the whole point
She's
of
in
a
the worst
pool
pool of all time.
is to tinker. That's the point.
She's in the worst pool of all time.
What the fuck is this? You can't drop players.
It's the worst pool of all time. It's absolutely terrible. It's so stupid. It's
Oh
so
my
stupid.
god! What an awful what a bore. So now she
Yeah.
can't make any moves to the end of the season.
Nope.
So she
What's
just
the point?
she's
Just say your
why
lineup
do
every
it?
night and go to bed.
Why fucking do it?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like,
What's the point of playing?
I would never even look at it again and be like, well, my points are my points. There's nothing I can do.
yeah. No, but she wants to win, so she checks every day.
Right, but
She
she
checks
can't
every
do
day to
but
make sure she's
she
winning.
can't change it now.
So she wants to make sure she's winning, so she checks.
Man, I feel bad for Mrs. Dangley. She got roped into it.
Yeah.
That is a crappy pool.
Whatever, she's in first place and wins money if she wins. So
Whoever's the commissioner did a terrible job.
well, the commissioner seems like a nice person. I don't know if
But
they set
do
the
they
rules.
know
but-
anything
It doesn't mean they did a
hockey.
great job. I mean, fair
enough.
Peter Horchak was a nice guy.
Listen, as long as she's in first place, I think they're doing a great job. Okay?
All right.
But so wait, what was it? Where was I gonna go with that?
I have no idea.
Oh, so I just go, oh well. Hopefully Huberdeau continues to be good, and I don't know. Hopefully Aho doesn't get this crazy streak. He scores his first game. Scores his first game after Mrs. Dangle lets him go. But luckily, no one can pick him up.
He's just gonna sit there.
He could score 40 goals. No one can get him. It's terrible. It's
Perfect.
absolutely terrible. Her team's freaking monstrous, though. It's really good.
Hopefully she wins.
I hope so, too. I think her worst player is Nylander. She's good. She's got a
Yeah,
really good
somebody
team.
asked me on Twitter actually about him, and they said, like, he's got 3 goals this year.
He'll be fine.
I agree. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I mean, like, this is one of the Marner. It's the same thing about Marner. Will Marner be fine? Yes, Marner will be fine.
And look at that.
There you go. Now, Brian Burke.
Oh.
Now let's talk about let's put this into perspective here. Do you ever wake up on a Monday morning and you're just crabby?
Oh my God!
And
Why
you
does
go-
it have to be Monday?
And you go, well, Mondays are important. Wait, this happened on a Monday, and I think some people wake up on Mondays and they don't enjoy going to work, and so they're like, you know what? I'm going to do something to entertain myself. And I think Brian Burke picked up the phone and said, "Hello, radio in Toronto. Let's piss off everybody." And the way that you get people to react in Toronto, especially media people, is you say that Toronto media want the Leafs to lose. Now, I will read this comment. Sure. Because what happened on Twitter, it was taken out of context.
Oh, okay.
Because what he really said and what was said on Twitter are completely different things. You take one sentence out of this, it's not the right thing. So I'm going to read the full thing, okay? Said, when things are going well, they're picking the parade route, right? Should we go down Bay Street or Yonge? When things are bad, it's like, we got to get rid of these guys, we got to change these 10 players, get rid of the coach, get rid of the GM. That's the nightmare of working in Toronto. But it's one of the attractions of working in Toronto, too. It is the Vatican. There's a significant chunk of the Toronto media that wants you to fail. We don't have that in Calgary. We don't have that in Edmonton. It's a different vibe. So,
it's a very strange statement because you're saying all those things beforehand, and I'm like, oh, this does change the context. And then that quote comes out of nowhere.
I think
it still sounds like he said what he meant.
I think. I think the way I read it on Twitter originally was like all Toronto media want the Leafs to fail.
Read that again.
There's a significant chunk of the media, Toronto media, that want you to fail. We don't have that in Calgary. We don't have that in Edmonton. It's a different vibe. Now, one of the tweets I saw, and I forget who it was from, but that is the biggest insult to Calgary and Edmonton media there could be.
Yeah, it's easier in Alberta.
Yeah, that they're not critical. I think Mark Spector would have something to say about that. Because Mark Spector would be a guy who if I was Brian Burke, I'd be like, that guy wants us to lose. He doesn't. Nobody wants them to lose because ratings go down, and that's terrible.
Why the Oilers are garbage today?
But his article this morning is 3 reasons why the Oilers offense continues to sputter. I mean, so
Spectral delivery. The Oilers are trash again.
From what I remember in Calgary, there were some journalists out there that were not quite happy with what the Flames were doing at that particular moment. Now they're winning, so I mean, yeah, and it's a smaller city, so the scrutiny's a little less. But I wonder if he was just going, I'm just going to press some buttons this morning and fuck these guys.
He did, because there's absolutely no truth to it. Like, the Leafs I can attest to the fact that the Leafs are better, so they have better ratings. The online traffic is hilarious. Why is there so much Leaf stuff on Sportsnet.ca? Because it does well, stupid. and also, people enjoy not getting laid off. Big fan of work and gainful employment.
Also, can we throw this out there? If you actually look at Sportsnet.ca, there is significant Leaf content, but there's also significant other Canadian team content. Like if you look at it in comparison, I'm sure if you were to actually break down the numbers, it's not as bad as people think. However, Facebook tends to pick up what the shit that you comment on. So anything that has a Toronto Maple Leafs thing on it on Sportsnet, it's going to pop up on your feed if you commented on it before, which means these guys that hate comment on Toronto Maple Leafs articles are going to continue to see them because Facebook knows you react to that, so it keeps sending it your way. That's how it works.
That's why, because, again, it's one of my hobbies. I haven't done it for a long time. But last year, one of my hobbies with Mrs. Dangle was we would just go through the Facebook comments and just read all the mean things people said. And we'd be like, there's that guy again. That's Mike. I know. Yeah. No, Mike commented on the last thing. There's that guy again. There's that guy. What is with these guys who hate watch me?
And it's because they've commented on your stuff before.
Why
so
does
it
this
keeps
keep
coming
popping up in my feed?
But they don't know how that works.
That is
right. I'm oversimplifying
awesome. I hope
it.
They keep doing it.
I'm oversimplifying, but that's sort of how it works.
Oh god.
So anyway, so I thought that was interesting, and you know what? The great thing was the sanctimonious reaction from our media counterpart.
Oh my me.
It's just who. You know, honestly, when you look at it, if you're a member of the media, do you really care?
I think
do you really care? Why do you care? Why? Like you care, but ask yourself, step back and go, why do I care?
I have it. I think I have it.
Tell me.
I'm willing to be vulnerable and admit this. If you're involved in media, you write for a living, you talk on the radio for a living, you're on TV for a living, there's an element of You need to have an element of look at me.
Sure.
I have something to say. You can be afraid of the camera, but if you write for a living, you put stuff out there, there is an element of look at me. But you're writing about subjects. You're writing about Austin Matthews that day. You're writing about the Leafs. You're writing about the power play. But now, Brian Burke has given you authority to talk about the real star of the show, yourself. So that's why when someone talks about the sports media, that's why people in sports media go, beg your pardon, did someone say my name?
I do find it funny. And
Yes, don't mind if I do.
And I'm not normally, this isn't like, when it comes to politics, I'm the exact opposite on this, but I did find this funny that when, these media guys, all of us, I include ourselves in this.
These media guys.
The ones that were really offended by it. Did you stop to think that everything that you do and everything that you did while he was here was criticizing his job? He takes one interview and criticizes you once and you lose your mind. That's where it's like, come on,
you're
guys.
Allowed to have a back and forth.
Sure, absolutely. But
Dave
I'm like,
Bolland was a bad trade. Fuck you, no, it wasn't. Like,
fine.
You're allowed,
and Brian
you're allowed to do that.
And Brian was known for that. I just think it's like, okay.
I don't know if he did that.
Very clearly, Brian Burke is just trying to needle you. He's just being a bully. So just ignore him.
I wouldn't say bully. I would say, I'd say
shit
he's just
disturber.
having fun. There you go. Shit disturber.
Fine. And I looked at that and I laughed.
People were looking at Burke's quotes, trying to be mad. There was one quote I saw where he called Nazem Kadri obnoxious, and people went, "What? How can he say that?" And I'm like, "No, guys, that's a compliment.
Yeah,
that's why he got him."
He also called him belligerent, obnoxious, and truculent.
Yeah, that's why he got him.
Yeah,
he got Kadri, and then they asked Kadri about it, and he goes, "Well, yeah."
Yeah. Anyway,
that's what he got me to be.
I don't want to criticize the media because I'm a member of it. And we had a friend at a party the other night go, "I don't trust anyone in the media," and he's sitting in a room with me, Jesse, and Steve, and we're like, there are four of us in the room, and he's like, "I don't trust anyone in the media," and I said, stopped him. I was like, "Do you know what you're saying?" So it's not like that.
No, not you guys. Alcohol was involved.
It's just old. I guess Brian Burke being a troll is just old. Stop. Don't fall for it. Who cares?
Yeah?
It's old.
Is it old if it works?
It's old. Well, it should be old, I guess. Maybe it should be. Maybe it isn't. But I just felt like, I'm like, guys. The Leafs are better. The Leafs are better than they ever would have been if he were here.
Whoa.
If he had stayed. Yep.
Whoa. And now he's got an opportunity to go, fuck you, no, they wouldn't be.
Exactly.
Well, and it's funny. I don't know, sometimes you just forget how emotions work. I think I've even said on the show, Sidney Crosby gets rattled too often. Why doesn't he try not doing that? And I get a shitty tweet, and I'm like, fuck you! Ruins my entire day.
Same. I'm the same. I'm the exact same. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And you know what?
No.
That's kind of why I like Brian Burke.
Oh.
He's a rascal.
Brian Burke, I relate to Brian Burke because Brian Burke and the Toronto media is a lot like me and Twitter. I'll be like, Twitter is bullshit and I hate this place on Twitter. The Toronto media is garbage. Now let me continue my obsession with it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Who didn't love the Toronto media more than Brian Burke? Come on.
Oh, Richard Petty, when he was on, he said he liked it too.
Thank God you brought up Richard Petty. You reminded me of something I wanted to bring up. One thing Richard said to us, I want to say in our first...
By the way, if you don't know this, Richard Petty, former CEO of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, brought the Leafs and the Raps together, wrote a couple books, has been on the show a couple times. So highly suggest you pick up the books.
On the first time he was on the show, he said something that stuck with me, is he thought over the years he had built up all these relationships with columnists and reporters, and he built up this kind of rapport. And then when things went south for him, he went to the bank of rapport.
Empty.
No equity there. No equity there. Yeah,
it's no mercy.
I remembered that. It's not a nice way to look at things, but damn it if it's not true sometimes.
He did say some interesting stuff. He did talk about...
He's a great guest. He's a great guest. I mean, a lot of people were prepared to hate listen to those episodes, and they were
Richard?
like, well, at least he was honest.
Oh, Richard or Brian Burke?
Oh, Richard Petty. Well, we've never had Brian Burke.
Yeah, Richard.
I'd love to. I'd be like, hey, shithead.
Love to have Brian Burke on and ask him about that. I'd be like, okay, Are you're just
Brian, would you like 2 hours to talk about yourself? I don't think it'd be that hard to book. Let's figure this out.
Well, and also I think it would just be fun to hear him just more quotes like that, man. I would just sit and laugh. It'd be fantastic.
Oh my God, it'd be absolutely great. But no, Richard Petty, like one of the highlights, just to more advertising so that you guys go back and listen to those episodes. Someone sent in a question. It was you hired John Ferguson Jr. to be GM of the Leafs, and then who's
Kevin O'Neill?
No, Babcock, something Babcock, or who was or was it Grunwald, or who was the Raptors GM who really sucked?
Kevin O'Neill.
No,
Was it? Oh no, he was the coach. It was.
I thought it was Babcock.
Might have been.
Raptors GM history.
John Ferguson Jr. to GM the Leafs at a very young age. And
General managers.
Thank you.
Here we go. I think you are thinking of Babcock. Rob Babcock.
Oh,
I might have been him.
the first
Glenn
Babcock.
Grunwald and Isaiah Thomas. There you go.
Okay, so anyway,
Kevin O'Neill must have been a coach then. He was so bad.
You hired
Can I
John
go to the
Ferguson.
Can I go to the washroom?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. You hired Babcock and Ferguson.
The wrong Babcock.
Yeah, the wrong Babcock. Has any president made 2 worse concurrent hires? Was a fan question that we asked him, and he just looked up and thought for a minute, and he goes, "No, I guess not." We were just like, "Wow, all right."
Yeah. Man, I remember going to that interview going, I have some burning questions for you, sir. And you know what? I got to give him credit. He answered all of them. It was like when Steve Simmons came on, man. Same thing. Burning questions. Interesting guy. And answered them all. At least these guys are willing to stand behind the shit, right? You know, if you create it, you cause it, you accidentally make it, you got to stand behind, hey, you know what? I got to own this.
Doug Sifu was good.
Doug Sifu was good. Doug Sifu would be more
Adam,
interesting.
Here, let me just.
No, they were great.
Mine.
They were great guests. I don't pretend.
No,
I'm not saying that we, the stars of the show, talk about me.
How far into the show are we? I got tired of talking of others. Let's discuss us.
No, we're just talking.
Hooray for us.
We're just talking about great guests. But Brian Burke did bring up Jerome McGinley. Or I guess somebody asked him about it, and they said, "Listen."
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You know, he said the question is, he's talking about Jaromir and how they signed Jaromir, and he said, is there a way that he said when you're looking at this, is there a way Jerome can contribute to our hockey club? Would it knock a kid out of the box? That's the problem when you sign a 40-plus-year-old player. You're taking a job from a younger player, and is that a sensible thing to do? When asked straight up, even though the Flames offense ranks 25th overall, Burke said, no, we're not looking at changes in that way. Interestingly, after he says that, the Flames go out and score 5 goals against the Blues in the third period last night.
Wow, in the third period?
Against the Western Conference leading St. Louis Blues. That's
who it happens to, though, eh? It's never like a team who's in like 20 seconds.
No.
It's always, yeah.
They just blow a tire, man.
Don't expect it. Well, who the Leafs play on Saturday? It's the Habs, right?
Yes.
And so a lot of people were laughing about, they got Antti Niemi, and then all my mentions were just full of Niemi's going to shut out the Leafs on the weekend. Just watch.
He does have an axe to grind, just with the NHL in general. He's got to prove that he can still play.
Welp.
The other thing is, he said, Sam Bennett would get crucified in Toronto. I don't know if that's necessarily the case quite yet. I know he's had a rough start, but so has Mitch Marner. And
Travis Hamonic would get crucified in Toronto.
Yes, because he has had a rough start.
There was another athletic one. That was from Dello.
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting read, too. I don't pretend to understand everything that Tyler Dello does because it's mathy.
No.
But I don't know how he gets to his conclusions. But they math check out because smarter people than me are going, good article. Then I'm going, mathematically that makes sense. And then I'm going, okay, well, cool. I'm trying to figure out the math. I'm trying to get up to speed, but it's really hard. The next thing I want to talk about, though, is both of you. I have a question. What is the most heinous injury you've ever suffered?
I've been very lucky.
You ever broken any bones?
Never broken a bone. Never broken an ankle. Never broken a bone. Never got any stitches.
Never got any stitches?
Never got any stitches.
Stitches aren't bad. I've got stitches one time.
I've sprained every finger at least once.
Like sprain them, like pop them out so people have to pull on them and put them back in?
No, like it's like you can't even bend it for like a week or something like that. My back, like throwing out your back sucks. You can't do anything.
And usually it's for some stupid thing. It's like, I picked up a pen the wrong way and I can't lift anything now. I can't put on my jacket.
My neck from the car accident, but I mean, again, that could have gone so much worse. I don't know. I haven't really had any really bad ones. Jesse?
I broke my arm when I was 11 playing football.
Really? What happened? Describe the play.
A tight end. It's actually not that heroic at all. We were playing British Bulldog in practice.
Yep.
In full equipment. And I got tackled from behind. I wasn't expecting it. And when I was going to land, I tried to brace my fall with my arms, which you shouldn't do ever.
That's what happened to Mrs. Dangle.
And I landed on my wrist.
So you're supposed to just fall, eh?
So just fall. You're getting tackled, just fall. But I was 11 and I tried to brace my fall and my right arm just snapped.
Do you remember, like, in the moment, did you know?
Oh, yeah, I started bawling my eyes.
So it hurts, eh?
Yeah, and I started screaming, my arm is broken, my arm is broken. All the coaching staff and everybody ran over and they called an ambulance and had the ambulance me to the hospital.
Damn.
Have you ever broken a bone?
Never broken anything.
No, you guys never.
No,
I played hockey. Room, I think.
I played hockey for 12 years. The worst I did was I think I've told this before, but I got this pirate scar on my hand. I got a skate blade to the thumb, and then later on in that season, I was cutting a box because we had these in Toronto. We had these weeny little recycling bins, and my dad is anal about this stuff and was like, okay, we need to fit every box we've ever had into the weeny little recycling bin. It cannot sit beside the recycling bin. It must be in it. Because he was afraid that, the recycling guys wouldn't take it. So I'm cutting and if you've ever had a powdered laundry box, and we got the ones from Costco, they're enormous and they're thick because it's powdered detergent that you're using. Yeah. So I'm cutting it. With an
X-Acto knife?
With an X-Acto knife, brand new, and it slips because the cardboard's thick. Opens it up, and I saw my tendon. I have actually seen my tendon, and I nicked my tendon. They said you came within a millimeter of it. I would have had a scar from here to here because it would have gone up. You cut your tendon, it goes up your arm, and they have to come back, pull it back down, and do surgery on it. But they didn't have to do that.
My dad did the exact same thing, except he got his actual the meat on his hand instead of the thumb, so that required stitches. Why are you asking us this?
I'm asking this because one thing that stuck out to me, it wasn't like a super heinous injury, but Zach Kassian kicked out Jimmy Vesey's teeth this weekend.
Oh, man. Yeah, I saw that.
And he had a tooth in
his... kicked it out?
Well, I think I don't know if it was a kick, but it was like I think it was an errant skate. I don't think it was a punch.
Oh, all right.
Normally, Zach Kassian would be a punch. But the tooth was stuck in Vesey's lip, and there's
Have you seen this X-ray?
Yeah,
it's gross. And I was thinking, I'm like, I can't imagine. That must be a weird pain. Like there's no one else before you can go. The pain that you're going to feel when you get a tooth stuck in your lip, that feels like broken bone. Yes, tooth stuck in lip. I don't know, man. Not many. And I loved his Twitter picture afterwards. He looks like the kid from Stranger Things. Just, you know what I mean? He's just got no teeth. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dustin, yeah.
I'm bad with character names.
I'm bad with names too. Anyway, I just thought lost teeth due to force. Imagine the pain. That's your mouth. You're eating with that every day. You're talking with that. You're chirping with that.
At least it's quick.
Oh, but the pain isn't, man.
No?
You ever been punched in the mouth? That has happened to me. I've had loose teeth.
I did not deserve it.
Oh, I did. It's running my mouth. Definitely deserved it.
Fair enough.
It sucks. And that's without a tooth falling out and getting stuck in a lip.
Oh, well, yeah. I didn't enjoy it.
So,
but I'm just saying, at least the tooth came out like that.
Right.
It wasn't ripped out. Boy, this is not an easy listen for some of you.
Well, I am curious to hear what your heinous sports injuries might be, but I'm also a little bit terrified to get them. You know what I mean? That's a Reddit page thread for sure.
I was just about to say, this is a dream Reddit thread.
All right.
This is exactly the sort of Reddit thread I would read for half an hour.
Okay. We want to hear about it. We want to hear what you did.
Yeah.
How it happened. What happened.
Reddit is basically just Trump articles, a couple cat things, a couple random Canadian things out of nowhere. And then it's just, name the most fucked up thing you could possibly think of.
Yep.
Thread. And I'm always amazed to see what makes it to the top.
Me too.
Always amazed.
We're going to switch gears now.
I guess.
You guys ever negotiated a contract?
Yeah.
Okay, you have. Jesse, have you ever negotiated a contract? Anything?
No.
Okay, so somebody makes
my apartment. Maybe.
Yeah, okay, that counts.
My lease?
Whatever. So did you go back and forth with your lease?
Yeah, but it was more of, hey, just do this.
Yeah, that doesn't
I
really.
didn't
Did
really
you-
have much say.
When I had when one of my places went up for rent, I think they gave me an offer that was like $300 under what I wanted. So I signed them back an offer which was my price minus $25 a month, and said, "This is the price. This is going to be the price." So they took it, which is nice. And they're really great. They're amazing. But sometimes negotiating is very, very interesting. So you basically go in and ask for the world, and knowing that you're going to get half the world. Because eventually you're going to meet in the middle-ish. Hard to win one.
I was a dick about something once when I bought my car, one and only car, and I remember just, I don't know, it was only 2011. I didn't have that much money. And I just remember I'd been laid off a bunch of times and I didn't want to be dicked around or anything. And they changed something with the financing or the taxes or something along those lines. And they said, like, laughing on the phone, they're like, okay, so the price of the car has gone up $1. And I just went, no.
Really?
Yeah, and the person on the other side of the phone went, Steve, that's not fair. And I just went, why did the price change? I was that much of a hard ass about it, but I remember...
was it $1 a month or just $1 overall?
It was literally an extra $1 on the entire car. And I said no. I just wanted to be a dick. Because, no, I'm already giving you so much more of my money. What's the $1? If it's going up $1, then how about you eat the $1?
You're right.
I'm buying a new car off of you. I'm not wrong.
Steve, on principle, Steve is very right.
Absolutely, and that's what I wanted to be stubborn about it. And then that was my way of going, fuck you. I mean business. I ended up paying the $1.
Oh. That was great until the end.
I think I did. I don't know.
What?
It was never about the $1.
That story was like The Sopranos. Great until the end.
Don't stop.
And then I gave in.
What?
No, well, I think it's like you in the apartment. You know, there was talking back and forth.
There wasn't really a back and forth with me. I wasn't stubborn.
And they're like, well, then you don't get the car. I can't remember. Now I don't even remember. Maybe they waived it. I don't remember. All I know is I actually made it into like a 5 or 10 minute argument that didn't need to happen. But I was like, you know what? I'm buying a new car.
It sounds like you were having a bad day.
It sounds like you were hungry.
Oh my God. I would have. You
like
know
that
how many
part?
other days I would have like giggled along and gone, ha, sure, what's another $1? But I was like, fuck you, I'm buying a brand new car.
That's like
You're
what
charging me an extra $1? Kiss my ass.
Every time we get an angry tweet about something bad, I'm like, that person maybe hates me, or maybe they're having a bad day and they'll be back tomorrow and they'll be a little nicer. Usually it's the latter.
You should have walked away from that. You should have threatened to walk away and not paid that damn $1. Not, yeah, it's okay.
Take your Mazda. I'm going to Honda.
If I was a little older
Give me
and
my
more
$1.
collected, I would have said something along the lines of, I'm buying a new car off you. Can you just eat the $1?
Yeah.
But I think instead what I said was, no, that's not the price we agreed to.
Did you get good service there? Were they nice to you?
Yeah.
So they're super nice to you, and they were really accommodating, and they're helping you out,
And you wanted to be a dick.
and you were a dick about $1.
Dude, I was 23. I was doing an impression of a real adult. You know what I mean?
Steve watches the Glengarry Glen Ross thing on YouTube once, and he's like, no, you have to have brass balls.
You see this watch?
This is for closers. No, coffee is for closers.
Hi, my name's Karen. I'm here to sell you a car. Coffee? And I slap the coffee out of her hand. Goes flying across the room, scalds one of the other salesmen. I go, coffee's for closers only.
See this watch? It's worth more than your car.
The negotiation lasts 8 minutes. I got an Oscar for it.
Yeah, you should get an Oscar for that story and never tell anyone the ending again.
Yeah.
No, next time you tell that story, don't tell
They
them.
gave me the car for free.
Mazda won, man. They won.
See, I don't even remember if they got the $1. I honestly don't.
Did you hold back the $1?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's $280 a month. I'm gonna pay you $279, motherfucker.
I'll never forget the person.
Da 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 da. It's the
Steve, that's not fair. It's not fair. I thought the customer was always right. Oh,
Anyway.
I was just being a dick.
The reason I asked this,
I wish you held on.
the reason I asked
I might
this
have. I don't remember. It was 6 years ago. Over 6 years ago.
is the reason I ask is the NFL owners have been
Right.
have been going back and forth with a negotiation with Roger Goodell. And we're finding out more and more about this. Jerry Jones is super pissed about how Roger Goodell handled the people protesting during the anthem, and has threatened, even though he has no jurisdiction over this, to sue the competition committee the compensation committee that is, who 6 owners who actually look after this sort of thing if they re-sign Roger Goodell. And they've actually threatened him now and said, listen, you do something, we're going to hurt you. And they can hurt him. Now, Goodell currently makes $30 million a year. His counter proposal doesn't mean he's going to get it, but his counter proposal includes this. Are you ready for this? They've been arguing over this since August. $50 million a year, as well as lifetime use of a private jet anytime he wants, and lifetime health insurance for his family. The health insurance for his family, I think, is just smart. Lifetime use of a private jet. Dude. Now, one NFL owner told ESPN, several owners in this league don't make $40 million a year. Now, the owner was referring to salaries the owners take off their teams. They all make over $40 million a year. If you own an NFL team, you're making over $40 million a year just in the fact that the NFL team's value goes up. It is interesting to note that the NFL is making even more money than it ever has. It's making obnoxious, insane amounts of money. So in that regard, you can kind of see how it's possible that sort of makes sense for him to make that kind of money. We're talking about a guy who brings in billions and billions of dollars, and he wants $50 million.
One of my favorite things about the story was that when it was published on ESPN.com, the original story said in the headline, hey, Roger Goodell seeks $50 million for his salary next negotiation. And someone from the NFL emailed ESPN, and they made them take down that article. And they had to change it.
Why?
Because Roger Goodell doesn't want $50 million. He wants $49.5 million. And the new article
Fuck you,
up.
give me my dollar.
And the new article went up later that day, exact same, except for that one small change in the title that says Roger Goodell
You know what?
seeks
Accuracy is important.
$49.5 million.
What is the United States of America?
A litigious society.
No.
But at least they're on it.
You know what?
I'm like, I don't mind
fine.
that.
What did it used to be? Or what do people always tell me it is? It is red, white, and blue. Bombs bursting in air, bald eagles flying, land of the free and home of the brave. If it is really land of the free and home of the brave, I propose a tiny new law in the United States. I'd like to see it worldwide. I'd like to see it in Canada, but I think the pilot project is in the United States. Every single citizen, from the moment you were born, as long as the person is 18 or over, you get one legal punch in your lifetime. You are allowed to punch someone in the face once legally ever. I think that would solve so many of these problems. I think it would solve so many of these lawsuits, all these court things. How many of these guys, like just a gulp of Buckley's, could use a punch in the fucking mouth?
I don't know if that solves anything, Steve.
I don't know.
It solves a lot. I think it would make a lot of people feel
What
better.
if instead of a punch, it was a nice talking?
Absolutely not.
What if it was a
Absolutely.
calm?
Because if there's one thing rich assholes listen to, it's a good talking to.
What if they had to
punch in the mouth?
What if they had to
the
sit
one
through
equalizer?
What if they have to agree instead of a punch to cheer for the Arizona Coyotes for an entire year?
No.
What if instead of a punch?
I'd rather get punched.
What if?
I don't think, by the way, they've won in regulation yet. I don't think so.
It's like a punch in the mouth.
14 losses.
They have 2 wins.
I just don't think they've
I don't
won.
know if they've been
Have
regulation overtime wins 1.
Oh, they got 1. Okay, so they got
No, you're talking about like not even in overtime. You're talking
Yeah.
about like just a
60-minute
win.
I don't know if they have.
I don't know.
Have
What's their shootout record?
1-1.
Yeah, so they don't have a 3-period win. They have an overtime and a shootout.
No, they
win.
have 2 wins though.
They have 2 wins, so it
I know
might
they
be,
have an overtime and a shootout win.
Oh,
Are you sure it's a overtime
I'm almost positive their first one was an overtime win over Philly. Goligoski.
They have no regulation wins.
Holy shit. A punch in the mouth in the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Okay, what if you have to watch Little Sheldon over and over and over again instead of getting punched in the face?
I don't
You know
know.
how many rich assholes are like, what a great program. A punch in the mouth.
Yeah, they have no regulation wins.
Yeah,
look it up.
Bleacher Report. I just found that at the same time you did.
No, I looked at the schedule.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
Steve for president? Like, I'm just saying, like, okay, does that law still apply where you have to be a citizen?
I wouldn't want to run for president on that platform. It means I get punched by a lot of people.
Yeah. I don't think that works.
You get one.
I don't.
You only get one.
I think we can come up with a better plan.
I don't think so.
Lastly, before we get to Pikachu.
Oh, speaking of punch in the mouth.
No.
Boy.
No.
Man, of my list of people.
Hey, can you just hold off on that, please?
No, I'm fired up about my punch in the mouth idea.
Italy not making the World Cup is bad for the World Cup.
I might use it on you now for talking bad about my country.
I didn't
My
talk
country
bad.
that I'm from, Italy.
Yes, very clearly Steve Glynn from Italy. Not being in the World Cup sucks. And it's not because Sweden being in the World Cup sucks. It definitely does not. But what sucks is Italian fans are the best. They're amazing. They're so much fun. They're dancing in the streets. It's like Brazil not being
You
in.
made a lot of other people mad by saying that, but you're right.
Brazilian fans. Imagine there's nobody dancing in the street like at a Brazilian bar during the World Cup. That sucks.
There's a bunch of fan bases that need to be in the World Cup, like just
because
for Toronto.
Like I think it's bad for the World
Portugal.
Cup. Portugal, Greece, Italy for
both
sure.
Mediterranean countries.
Yeah, absolutely. I was apparently, according to Stephen Birch, I was like, is there like a little Sweden in Toronto? He said there's apparently a
It wouldn't surprise me if there was a little everything.
There's a Scandinavian Christmas spectacular at Harbourfront every year, and he has to go even though he's not Swedish.
Why am I not surprised he knows that?
Well, he sent me the link to it. His wife makes him go. That's what was so funny.
Makes him go.
He's like, my wife makes me go. We aren't even Swedish. So I'm like, man, that sounds great. I'll go to that.
I need to ask a question about this. Did you know that Mrs. Dangle and his wife are teachers together?
I had no idea.
They are.
Wow.
They are, and they talk about their Steves. It's true.
But no Netherlands, no USA, no Italy. Netherlands, I think last World Cup were one of the
that's
most dominant teams. It's crazy.
Wait, who is it? Netherlands, Italy, and
USA. And really,
Wow.
in comparison, USA is not a story. It's a story here. But in Europe, USA not making, they're like, yeah, well, I mean,
disappointing.
it's disappointing for USA, and it's
Yeah.
definitely disappointing for Fox, who paid like $1 billion for the next 2 World Cups.
Yeah.
So who? Well, this is what I look at. Okay, like I'm disappointed Italy didn't get in, and I'm sure a lot of people are. And Netherlands and U.S. We're talking about 3 countries that usually make it, right? Italy,
Oh, yeah.
Netherlands in particular.
And USA of the last 20, 25 years, they've sort
Yeah,
of,
I think it's even more than that. Yeah.
but this means 3 teams got in that usually don't.
or will get in. We still don't know.
right.
Like, I don't know, Ireland. They're in and out sometimes.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Sweden's not going to win it, but they're in now, and
Yeah.
they're going to be
Are they
competitive.
usually not?
They've been in the last couple, but they're never a threat.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Iceland's
gotcha.
bringing their Thunderclap back. They're in.
Like how many World Cups have they been in?
And they're, what are they, a country of 400,000 people?
350.
That's insane.
Something like that.
they made it in.
That's crazy. That
shouldn't
like
happen.
Hamilton having a World Cup team.
Yeah, it's
like
amazing.
London, Ontario having a World
And
Cup team.
that is why a real World Cup is the best. Not there's some teams from just some places.
Because you never know.
Because you never know.
Who's in the World Cup of hockey? Lithuania. Had no idea. Didn't know they had what it takes. Crazy.
But you guys, the Young Guns, they're a country.
You know what?
North American Young Guns, I think.
And they were a success, and we proved a lot of people wrong. You know what we should do? Never bring them back again.
No, it's done.
No.
I don't think they'll bring them back.
Yeah, Team Europe makes the final. No.
But
I
you
think
guys,
they only
Team
did that for
Europe is a
Connor
country.
McDavid. They only
Oh,
did that for
yeah.
Connor McDavid. Like, I mean, really, it was like, well, and by the way, Connor McDavid should have absolutely been on Team Canada.
Yeah, and you know how there's like so many talented under 23-year-olds in the NHL? Austin Matthews magically makes the team in Toronto.
Well,
It was
man,
just spectacular.
you know what we need to do
But it
is
was
go
the
back and
best.
watch the game tape of Matthews and McDavid playing
So
together.
good.
That's when I think people started to realize, oh, this Matthews guy is pretty good.
We'll never see it again. I thought about that the other day. It's
That's sad.
unless McDavid somehow comes to his senses, we'll never see it again.
No, All-Star. Oh, no. Unless
Oh, yeah, maybe All-Star.
Yeah, if one of them switches,
Actually, yeah,
No.
exactly.
they'd have to switch conferences and be in the same division. Yeah.
A lot of things would need to happen to ever see it again.
It'd be great if we saw them go one-on-one wearing their country's jerseys. In a couple
Canada,
months.
USA.
In a couple months when
That's
that was supposed
part
to
of-
take place.
Did
Yeah.
you see all those quotes about the NHL's success in Sweden recently? And Bettman's like, we want to play more international games. And I was like, oh my God, I just boogered out of my nose. That camera probably got that.
So hope everyone's watching.
Gift
Ew,
that.
are we
Please
going
gift that. Gift that. Please put that on
no!
gift. And zoom in and gift that. That's so awesome.
It's gone. I gotta go on the
yeah, you
I'm
know-
going on the radio in a couple minutes.
You know, it makes me mad, but I don't want to think about the Olympics.
That was
At
that was
least-
disgusting.
At least we don't have to see Connor McDavid in those atrocious Olympic jerseys.
We
You know what?
already talked about this.
Seeing McDavid in a bad jersey is better than not seeing McDavid at all.
Seeing
To
McDavid-
wrap around to the beginning of the show.
McDavid makes any jersey good.
Exactly.
Any jersey good. Do you think the Oilers...
So he will not save this year's Olympic jersey, is my point. Still not saving it.
If Magnus Payarvi was wearing the bright orange Oilers sweater, I don't think it would have sold as many.
No, you're right. You're right.
Let's be honest. Everyone's like, oh, it's great. I
it's
don't have to cheer for McDavid.
Yeah, I think it's
So
just
I
a throwback.
see clearly. And no, it's not.
Okay, before we get to the press
I'm gonna
conference,
get fought for that. I'm really...
Jesse?
my opinions with Oilers fans is really going to tank. Sorry.
well, you have so much credibility there anyway.
They're going to call me
They love you
Booger
so
Boy.
much. No. Let's talk about this. This is very important. It's a cultural pivot. What do we know about?
One legal punch.
Let me know when you want me to play the audio.
Well, I want you to play the audio, but I want you to insert it afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because we still don't have the freaking ability to do that yet. So normally when you have a Pokemon, the Pokemon repeats its name. That's how it talks. But that's all it does. Pikachu says Pikachu. You know, coughing says coughing. Wheezing says wheezing.
Ekans says Ekans, snake backwards.
Wait, what does Charmander say?
Charmander.
What does Bulbasaur say?
So you're getting the point,
what
right?
about Squirtle?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So you're getting the point, right?
crazy.
You're getting the point.
No,
Now,
I can't
so
do Bulbasaur.
since 95, since this came out, so like 22 years of Pokemon.
Shit, really?
We have known what they do. Except now there's a new Pokemon movie and they've changed that forever. Jesse, what are we about to listen to?
We are about to
don't make me
to.
listen to it again. I actually turned it off the second he started. No.
We are about to listen to a scene from the movie Pokemon the movie I Choose You. It's apparently towards the end of the movie. It's the only time it happens. And Pikachu speaks English.
Pikachu, why won't you get in your Pokeball?
It's because I always want to be with you.
Can we play that one more time?
Don't disturb it!
I want to play it for the guy who is all of us. Here it comes. If you know English, why are you talking like that? Here it is. Listen.
Get in your Pokeball.
It's because
That is me. That is. Now, please tell me that is like a hallucination Ash is having.
So,
Are you about to tell me that?
people are interpreting it as this is a dream sequence, or that's kind of what Ash is imagining Pikachu is saying.
It has to be.
So they're taking like creative license with that little scene, but in the movie, it happens flat. It happens in reality. But people are saying it's Pikachu, what Ash is imagining Pikachu is telling him right now.
Now, there's a couple things about that I take issue with. First off, Pikachu's voice speaking English is the creepiest, weirdest thing I've ever heard. That is weird.
I just
Like,
want
Matt, turn
to
off
be
the lights.
with you, Ash.
Turn off the lights and play that without
Absolutely
watching it.
do not.
That's terrifying.
not.
That is a horror movie. Second thing, that is not true. Pikachu is a lying, dirty rat. A dirty rat.
It's an electrical mouse.
Okay, well, a lying, dirty rodent, shall we say. Because
Wow.
if you remember at the beginning, which I do, Pikachu was just being a jerk and just wouldn't do what Ash wanted
That's
him to do.
true. He didn't want to
So
be with Ash at the
it's
beginning.
nothing to do with him wanting to be with Ash. So he's straight up lying to his friend. Maybe Pikachu needs to come clean.
So then maybe it is what Ash is interpreting. Maybe it's actually a hallucination.
Maybe-
Because it's not the truth.
Maybe
Because it's
Pikachu's
not
saying,
true.
I really fucking hate you and want you to die. Why won't you die, Ash?
Ash, it's because when you think about it, it's really fucked up that you guys keep us in balls and it's bullshit and you don't like it in there. And don't you ever think about what happens when you leave us in there for days at a time? What if I got to take a piss or a shit? I'm hungry.
And in reality, what's coming out is Pikachu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Also, animal fighting.
Why Pokemon is problematic.
There was an
one.
article on why Pokemon was problematic and how it
is.
encouraged animal fighting, and people were. It was the one time I've seen the internet go, too far.
Enough. Pikachu. Eyes on the prize here.
Oh, okay.
Eyes on the prize. I think Berkshire and I worked this out.
Okay.
We worked it out. There's a couple shows very important to our childhoods in absence of girls. One of them was Pokemon.
Yes.
Now, do you remember the first movie?
Yes.
Yeah, because that happened when
And
you were like...
can we just talk about the
6 years
fact
old.
that movie was so disappointing? Why do they always have to
Yes.
have these emotional, sad endings? Why can't it just be badass?
Yeah,
Pokemon
it's
needs to be
Pokemon.
badass.
Oh my God.
And they always have to have emotional, crappy sequences like that. No, man. No.
So he loses, right? In the, what's it called?
But like Mewtwo and Mew,
I forget the name of the league. It was like Masters,
yeah.
Pokemon Masters. I don't remember. And wow, I'm getting old and I feel sad. But so in the video game, you go there and you win and you get all the badges and you're a Pokemon master now. Wow. But then you lose in the movie, which is a continuation of the show, if I'm not mistaken. So for me, here's Pokemon. As the 29-year-old man, here's Pokemon. Red and blue.
Yellow.
Yellow never happened.
What?
Yeah, no, yellow, no, red.
Yellow never
I
happened.
had yellow. I liked it.
It should be called Pokemon the cartoon, the video game. It never happened.
It basically was the same game. They just added Pikachu.
Yes.
That's bullshit.
Correct. Never happened. And then there was the show that led up to the movie. And then it's like the show walked into another room and you had to be under a certain age to go into the next room with it. And I didn't make it through.
I didn't either. That
So
was the end of it.
That's how the show ended. That's how the video game ended. And to me, it was perfect. The other show is Dragon Ball Z. The Frieza saga is excellent. Cell, it had its moments where it lulled, but it was okay. As Berkshire and I agreed on, the Gohan ending was badass. Then there's Majin Buu, which I was less crazy about, but the second Majin Buu is defeated, Dragon Ball Z ends. But what about Dragon Ball this and Dragon Ball that and Dragon Ball that? No. Dragon Ball, they all live happily ever after, amen.
You know what's awesome?
What?
The amount of people who are listening to this, and it sounds like you're speaking like Mandarin.
I'm one of them. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Like,
Yeah, there's a
remember what
lot
he's
of
talking
people who
about.
didn't watch Dragon Ball Z.
Not
growing
beyond
up.
the
You know how many
Frieza thing.
people are
And
in the
you-
car with their kids right now and they're going, translate this for me. Ignore the part where you said legal punch in the mouth and said fuck a bunch of times.
Like, you're speaking a different language to a
Am
lot
I
of
to
people.
you?
Some of it, because I don't remember. I've seen every Dragon Ball Z, but I don't remember most of it because I was so young.
Okay, remember the green bug guy who
Yeah,
would
yeah,
sting you and suck out your life force?
sure.
Okay, so that was Cell. Remember Majin Buu?
Adam, have you seen any of Dragon Ball Z?
I've seen.
Angry muscly Kirby?
Here's where I got mad at this show.
Okay.
Literally for 10 or 15 episodes in a row I tried to watch. And it was during the Frieza thing. And all it is training. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. next time after next time. And it's just, it was...
Fires one shot, dust clears. Ha, it wasn't enough. After 3 episodes.
And you're like, finally, that freaking brain thing is dead. Nope. It was
Now, what was the brain thing?
Frieza.
I called him that purple
So
little
you
asshole.
weren't a fan.
I wasn't a fan because I knew, even at 11 years old, that I was being duped.
Yeah.
I was wasting my time.
You were a little too old.
Okay, it was
Yeah, maybe.
slow. It was a
You were a little too
slow.
old.
Slow burn?
Adam
How
and I are
about
the
they
same
didn't
age.
have a story?
That's funny.
How about they didn't have a story and they stretched it out over 45 episodes?
It was a very slow-paced show.
It was.
But the long and short-term storytelling masterclass that is Frieza killing Krillin and Goku getting angry and going Super Saiyan is unmatched in television history.
Are we hanging out
The
on
best
Saturday?
episode of any show ever.
I think we are.
Are we hanging out on Saturday? I'm bringing all of Dragon Ball Z.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I got a torrent of it. But
We need Dragon Ball TiVo.
You mean you paid legally for it?
I have the DVD.
That's right, you do. So we're gonna watch all night and
We're
literally
gonna watch
get
Dragon
nowhere.
Ball Z on Show Me.
Literally, it's gonna start and be like, okay, oh no, Krillin died. I'm gonna go Super Saiyan, and by noon the next day, if we watch all episodes back to back, we might get to Frieza and Goku actually facing each other.
There's got to be.
You can skip 5 episodes at a time and didn't miss a damn
Adam's
thing.
not wrong. That's the sad thing.
What's the Star Wars?
He's but you're doing push-ups upside down. But you did.
Do not talk shit about Vegeta.
1,000 gravity chamber.
But the show was
On his
about
way to
fighting.
Namek. Do not talk shit about Vegeta.
The show,
Oh my
the show
God.
was about fighting. You needed to show the workouts.
Speaking
it was essential.
Speaking
was
of
getting
get it.
better.
Speaking of Vegetas, can we order those on Saturday night when we hang
Oh
out?
my God.
Those are delicious.
Don't
I believe
disrespect.
it's pronounced vaginas. That's how Peter Griffin said it.
Kakarot. No, you can't. I'm so angry.
And then what's the bald guy's name? Is Krillin?
Krillin?
Yeah, and he's like dead, and he's on the other world where he's not dead, but he can come back a couple times, but he's already died twice, so he can't come back. So he's just
What?
dicking around on that planet with like nothing to
I
do, and yet they
remember.
spend the entire show on him.
Because he died.
So he's dead. Be dead. Move on.
No.
They
no.
didn't have a story.
You got to watch someone avenge your death.
Yeah.
Would you not watch? You're tuning into that channel. You're not
god
like,
at
oh,
that
Will and
point.
Grace is on.
No.
You're gonna watch that guy
Steve.
Yeah.
beat up Frieza.
I don't need
That
to
purple
watch
asshole.
someone watching someone getting their death
Oh
avenged.
my God! I of all the wrong things you have ever said,
Steve.
of all the wrong things,
Steve.
I'm so angry.
I could.
You're taking a shit on my childhood right now. Is
Well,
what
because-
you're doing.
because-
Lots of people didn't like Dragon Ball.
Yeah, and you know what?
And they were all wrong. All of them.
You could have
Incorrect
completed
It was
the
a
across the board.
polarizing
The
show.
season, if it was, listen, I'll give you this. If it was done in 10 episodes, it would have been fantastic.
The
But-
entire thing.
But the fact that it took from 1998 to 2002 for Frieza to finally go down is a little much. It's a little much. It's like, it's just too much,
Are
man.
they still making new episodes?
Oh, fuck yeah, they
Probably.
are. Absolutely.
What
It's like
what
Power
upset
Rangers.
me-
What Power
Brawly
Rangers?
does not exist. It ended at Majin Buu, arguably Cell. Brawly does not exist. Stop all that shit. And he's Super Saiyan 7 with the extra long hair and he turns into it. Stop.
What upset me was when they added on the next layers of Super Saiyan. Because it was okay.
You're Super Duper Saiyan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then it
And
got-
I'm Super
then it
Duper
got
Saiyan that sucks.
Then I was like, all right, I'm a 12. I can tap out.
Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3.
Yes.
You could argue it ends at Frieza.
Yeah, because he was Super Saiyan. You
Yeah.
can't just add, oh, now he's more Super Saiyan. No. I'm too old for this.
No, I agree.
No, this definitely isn't your final form because, of
Yeah.
course, it's not. It's Dragon
So,
Ball Z.
oh, what? It just never ends? You're just going to keep adding 1, 2, 3? Like, no.
He is a Super Saiyan to the power of 100.
Oh my goodness. It's yeah,
Back to the gravity chamber.
some shows write themselves into a corner where, oh, there's nowhere to go. But with Dragon Ball, they write themselves into a corner where it's eternity. It's just limitless.
Yeah.
Super Saiyan 7. What's different about them? Their hair goes black. Wait, his hair's already black. Never mind that. It goes from black to blonde to black. Their
So-
eyes are kind of red.
So the Saiyan Saga,
It changes his shirt. Stupid.
the Saiyan Saga, 39 episodes, started in 1989, lasted till March 1990. And then they moved on to the...
Saiyan Saga's good.
Can you read these for me?
Thank you.
I
Jesus.
can't speak your language, Steve.
Saiyan Saga goes from, oh my goodness, that's how old Dragon Ball Z is?
Yeah.
April
We were watching it 10 years later.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
That's
wow.
insane. Yeah.
It goes from April 26, 1989 to March 7th, 1990. Namek and Captain Ginyu sagas, March 14th, 1990 to January 16th, 1991. The Frieza saga, oh my God, I had no idea we were watching old shows.
We were watching
I
it
watched
10
that
years
in
later.
like 2013.
I honest to God had no idea. The Frieza saga, January 23rd, 1991 to September 11th, 1991.
And every single day that year, there was an episode.
Yeah.
Garlic Jr., Trunks, and Android Saga, September 18th,
I remember the
1991.
Android Saga.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to
That sounds
May 13th,
terrible, by the way.
1992.
They were good.
You're wrong.
Were they better than Frieza? They're just robots that are better than Frieza for no reason?
We haven't even.
Oh,
We haven't even got to
No, here-
we're not even halfway through. This is so boring. Come on.
Imperfect Cell and Perfect Cell sagas, May 20th to November 18th, 1992.
I was finally
By the way,
born.
we're in the middle of the Cell saga. Jesse was just born. Gretzky has not high stick Doug Gilmore yet. The Cell Games saga, November 25th, 1992 to July 21st, 1993. Great Saiyaman and World Tournament. See, now we're getting into
I think I
this
tapped
goofy
out.
shit where I was like, okay, I'll tune in sometimes. July 93 to March 94. Babidi and Majin Buu sagas, March 94 to January 95. And Fusion and Kid Buu sagas, February 95 to January 96. I also don't like that it divided. I don't like how the sagas are divided. When the androids show up, that's the Cell saga. Then when he dies, that's the end of the Cell saga. There aren't 3 Cell sagas. There aren't 2 Majin Buu sagas.
Adam.
It's Majin Buu.
Do you think if we left Steve in a room with the Dragon Ball Z Wikipedia page, which is, by the way, many, many pages,
Oh, I'm sure.
do you think he could do a 2-hour or 8-hour podcast by himself?
Why would you leave me with, if you left me with a closed laptop? I could do
Well,
it.
and it seems like that's perfect for you in Berkshire because you guys like nerdy shit that no one cares about.
Yeah. Oh.
Guys, everybody cares about Star Wars.
Nah.
Would Star
He
Wars
got
have had?
you.
Would Star
He
Wars have
got
had?
you.
Hold
That's
on.
a trump card.
Hold on. No.
Hit that out of the
Would
park.
Star Wars have had the most downvoted comment in history on Reddit if people didn't care about it? I don't think so.
That's the nerdiest thing you've ever said.
Yes,
just saying.
thank you. Thank you.
But I'm not wrong. I got the
No,
numbers.
you
bitch.
are wrong because
Numbers.
it's nerdy.
Numbers.
You know what? I was coming at you with all this Kamehameha stuff, and you just spirit bombed my nerdiness.
Just saying, I'm right.
He did.
People do care.
He's summoned energy from all living things.
By the way, Battlefront 2, sort of a rip-off, but also wicked fun. So, you know.
Nerd.
Yeah. Listen,
Also correct. Nerd, but also correct.
It's
But,
so much fun.
Here's the equivalent. Imagine buying Super Mario 4. Like they just came out with a new Super Mario, and you had to unlock Mario for $60.
yeah, that's shitty.
Or whatever.
But you know what I gotta say? People are upset about that. EA responded and made it a lot easier to unlock Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker.
After they were shouted
For
down.
sure, which is,
Fuck yeah.
I mean, listen, listen. I don't think it should have taken a comment 500,000 on
you
Reddit.
serious?
It was 500. It's up to 500,000 now.
I've never seen that before.
It's well, no,
It's literally never happened.
It's never
That's
happened.
why you've never seen it.
ever.
mackerel.
All the things on Reddit ever, that's the most downvoted. Now, what's interesting about it is they made it a lot easier.
What did we spend on
No, I'm just throwing this out there.
Let's keep going.
Sorry, you're right.
I think it takes 15,000 credits to unlock Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker, and another 15,000 to do the other one.
Are you playing as the guy, or are you like
Well, you're
versing
playing
them?
Well, you're playing as like it's a fight, right? So it's like a first person shooter, but during the game,
Oh, so it's not Mortal Kombat. Type.
no.
It's-
This is
Right.
like Call of Duty.
Okay,
That's
okay.
the unlocking we're used to.
Yeah,
no,
that's
it's
what I
not-
was thinking.
But if during the game you can get upgrades, so if you let's say you have a 2,000 point takedown and then you die, when you respawn, you can be in a better vehicle, you can be a better player, you can be a Jedi or something like that, and Jedi are fucking unstoppable, right?
I don't like
So,
the
just-
upgrades
Okay,
you
so-
buy.
So
it's Call of Duty like you're playing. Are you playing through the campaign to unlock these guys?
I'm doing some of that too, and multiplayer. It's both.
okay.
Better
okay.
question: is there a campaign?
Yes, and it's
Last
great.
time there was not.
I started playing
Okay.
it, and it's really well done. But what the interesting thing is, and by the way, the campaign is canon. It's a part of the story. So they actually made it as a continuation of one of the movies.
That's cool.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing? So that's a great idea, right? They did a great job there. My thing is, I'm at 11,000 credits already, and I've only played 2 hours. So it's not that.
How much does it cost to unlock these guys?
It costs $80.
No. How many credits?
Oh, 15,000.
So you can do it without paying.
Before, it was going to be 40,000 per character. Now it's 15,000 per character. So they made it a lot easier. I think in games like this, I agree. You should not have to unlock main characters. What you should have to unlock is upgrades. Better guns, and that's how the last game worked. It was never about, you unlocked better skins and stuff, but it was never about unlocking Darth Vader. You could always be Darth Vader. It was just, this one, it's like, you to have better guns, to have better abilities, that should be the stuff you unlock, not the character. If I want to be my boy Darth Vader, I want to be my fucking boy Darth Vader.
So I was sort of talking to Adam about this. So I've gotten the special edition of a lot of the NHL games. So they'll give you like 2 extra gold packs for Hut every week. So everyone who got the advanced copies had like an unfair advantage. That's a lot of the YouTubers.
You start off, there's the regular one that's like $69 retail. And then if you pay for the Stanley Cup version or the gold version, they call it's like $100, but you get all those extra stuff.
Full disclosure. I bought the Stanley Cup version of Star Wars. I bought the deluxe edition. But you know what? It's my one fucking game. So I'm doing
fine.
it.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
But so I had an unfair advantage over people, but I wouldn't pay for extra shit. I was in level 10 of Hut. That's the shittiest you're just starting one. Okay. You open up your starter pack. Ryan Reeves was on my first line. I was playing against some fucking kid who top line was Bure, as in Pavel Bure.
Not even Valerie.
Yeah, Pavel Bure. On the left of Datsuk, and I want to say Kovalchuk.
And that's because he has probably his parents' credit card. And
because you couldn't possibly be in tier 10. I was happy to just score a goal on him. I lost. Adam, did you beat him? I'm like, no. Well, you'd have to be some kind of bad to lose to my shit team. It's like you ever play Team Canada versus Italy just for fun? Build up your confidence.
Yeah, for sure.
I play AHL or OHL teams versus NHL teams all the time, and just to get
train.
Better. Yeah, it's fun.
That's what I like to play. Well, it's like why I play the campaign modes in super hard. I was playing the campaign mode this morning as hard as possible. And by the way, whatever campaign mode, they've got it on, I've got it on the super hard level. I'm walking through it like it's nothing because online is so much harder.
Which is why I don't play online.
It always is. People are just so good. So anyway, I think it's better. Is it perfect? No. But if you've ever owned an EA game, you know what they're about. So that's sort of part of their business plan. And that's why Star Wars went with them to develop them and DICE, is because they got a great business plan. They make a pile of money. I do know people that have spent $400 on this game. Now, that is crazy to me. At a certain point, just grind it out and earn it. And I know, listen, man, I'm a grown man. I don't have 40 hours a week to play on these games. I get it. And if you're a YouTuber and Battlefront's what you do, it makes financial sense to buy everything. Just buy it.
Tax write-off.
Totally.
You're not even paying for it.
Exactly.
You're not wrong.
No,
you're not wrong.
So, but for me, it's like, okay, there is a sense of achievement when I do unlock things. I just don't think main characters need to be the thing you unlock. That's just my thing.
You know on Google Maps how you can avoid toll roads?
Yeah.
You should be able to play Battlefront and be like, I want to avoid people who bought shit. Come on, you don't want to go on and just get fucking creamed.
But you don't. You still don't. If you're good enough, you'll be all right.
What if
You may not be top of the board.
What
but
if
last
I'm
night,
13 and just got the game for Christmas?
Last night I was playing guys who were Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader and all that stuff who'd clearly paid to be there.
Yeah.
And because the game dropped at 11 p.m. last night, and I was on it at 11:01.
Is that what it came out last night?
Last night.
Oh, I thought this has been out.
No, there was a beta. But it was
okay.
for 7 days we could play.
Okay.
And none of the stats, by the way, they said that they would, but none of the stats that we accumulated during our beta rolled over. So I made it to level 10. I played a whole bunch. I'm like, I gotta get level 10. I gotta get there. And I got there, and fucking none of it counts.
29-year-old man getting married in 2 months.
Anyway,
by the way,
but I was still. I had a game last night. My first game, I had 28 kills, and I was top 5 on the board. So you can do it. You just have to be good at it. And remember, this is my one game. It's my one thing. And I'm not even really great at it, but I'm good.
Get good.
Two things.
Sorry, I've
Do
been
you put
watching
out your
Pro ZD.
PSN ID?
It's Adam Wild.
So if anybody
People add
wants to
me.
play Adam,
Yeah.
there you
And
go.
target him and kill him over and over again.
Second thing,
And teabag his body.
2K.
Can't do that in this game.
2K, the basketball
really?
game this
Oh.
year, they hit the bonus edition out of the park this year because they had a Legend Edition. They called it Legend Edition Gold, which is better than the Legend Edition regular.
Regular. That is Super Saiyan edition.
And one game costs $199.
Wait a second. What? What are you doing in it?
So you just get all the bonus content.
Oh.
That's it. If you
So
pay,
if you
pay
wanted-
$200 flat for their Legend Edition of their NBA 2K game this year, you get every bonus content.
You know what? I would do that for Star Wars. Because I'm going to play this game for 2 more years.
There is not a single video game on the face of
That's-
the planet.
see-
I can't.
If you add
Justify.
$100 to that, you get a new console.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's different.
However-
I get a console.
But like I don't
that's-
play anything else. This is what I play. So if you buy 2 video games and you play them for half of a year each, I buy 1 video game, I play it for 2 years. I've been playing Battlefront 1 since it came out. I've been
That's
playing
your
it for that's my game. So it's worth it for me if they did that, but they're not doing
if,
that.
If NBA 2K was your only game, you could drop $200 on it.
I just want all this out there for when I have kids and they're like, Dad, can I have? And I can very quickly go, no.
You're not going to college
Yeah.
because we spent money on our
Do
video
you
games.
want employment? Or do you want the red lightsaber?
Right. That's actually, I'm kind of concerned about that. Like, there's stories about people's, it's dad's PS4, but the kids get on and they just buy a bunch of shit. And, and like, because you can, and I think it happens on iPhones too.
Yep.
The kids know their parents' password or whatever, and they just start buying
It's like
stuff.
that South Park episode, like, oh, it's just a couple micro pays. $20,000 on Canada?
Yeah. And then they got to go to Canada.
It's a Canadian devil.
Hey, do we want to? Let's do the press conference quickly, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
I had a question here, but I can't find it. Somebody had a question about the Toronto Arenas jerseys. It was Nick W18 on Reddit. They come out on Thursday.
Got to pay $80 if you want me to answer that question.
One.
Yeah.
This is my question. Are you guys getting one?
I love the Arnasty jerseys. That's how I choose to identify them. I don't know if I'm going to get one. You know what I'm still annoyed about? That I don't have the most up-to-date Leafs jersey despite having bought it last year.
Yes. That's very annoying.
I'm annoyed at that.
What was
and
the
that's
question
why
again?
I don't have a current one.
I got distracted. Sorry.
The Toronto Arenas jerseys.
They are
Pre-sale
nasty.
starts Thursday.
Oh, I love them.
You getting one?
Man, okay, so I was going through my closet the other day.
I get 2 jerseys a year.
If I'm going to spend money on a jersey.
Listen, you'll spend $215 on a jersey, but you wouldn't.
Not every freaking year.
Yeah, you get a new jersey about every year, don't you?
Not every year. And sometimes I get it. I get it for free. Sometimes.
I'm just saying.
Or as a
you
gift.
can't judge me for spending $200 on a video game, which I haven't
Christmas
done.
is coming.
Which I still haven't done.
Christmas is coming.
You know what? I would love one. Here's the thing. At a certain point, you reach a capacity where, unless I am wearing a hockey jersey every day, it doesn't make sense. Like I have
like 20 jerseys.
I have 4. No, I'm up to 7 Leafs jerseys. I've got 2 Generals jerseys. By the way,
Why
thank
do you have 2
because I bought the Antropov autograph jersey, and then one of our listeners, I was talking about how I love the classic Jenny's jersey that's not available anymore. Yeah. One of our listeners sent me one, and it was amazing. And then I bought that Vladimir Tarasenko Moscow jersey a few years ago.
St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg jersey.
So the jersey meant nothing to you.
Yeah,
He knows what it is.
Absolutely nothing.
and then I've got
Change the nameplate to Shipachev.
and I think I've got a St. Pat's in there too. Like I got
Oh, yeah, you got the Austin Matthews one?
the St. Pat's
Yeah,
Austin
yeah.
Matthews, and I got it on sale. Sweet.
It was like $10 off, wasn't it?
It's on sale. Less than full price. I paid less. It's obnoxious.
The
I have too many
original
jerseys.
15,000 credits.
too
The
many jerseys.
original question was, if I were to get a player in the category of being difficult, who should I get?
In the category
For the Arenas jersey?
Yeah.
Get one of the original Arenas players. Look up their.
Oh, that's see. Is that difficult or hipster?
I think that's awesome.
That's
Toronto,
hipster. That's different.
I don't
Arenas.
even know if
Snob.
that's hipster.
Roster.
No, snob.
I don't know if that's snobby. I think is it cool?
Okay,
Name,
here we go.
Who played for the Arenas?
Here we go.
Conacher.
You can get Jack Adams.
No, you can't.
Now, I'm not sure if that's the same Jack
Jack
Adams.
Adams.
The difference.
This is early 1920. This is like 19. This is
17.
Yeah, so end of World War I. So
Not even.
There would have been a few people named Jack
There's
Adams.
still shells flying in the air when these jerseys were worn.
Jack Adams. Hold on, I want to see.
other
I want
one.
to see if it's the same guy. Adams.
Toronto Arenas
Wiki.
or Nasties, Aretinas.
I want to see if this is the same guy because that would just be insane.
Maybe.
Oh my God, it is. It's the same guy.
Really?
June 14th, 1894. Yep, Jack Adams.
This guy was born
Toronto.
in the 1800s. This guy was born like the year
So you
after
can
they
get-
invented
So
basketball.
you can get Detroit legend Jack Adams.
I'm pretty sure.
You can get Jack Adams. You can get Art Brooks, Harry Cameron, Jack Coughlin, Rusty Crawford, Corb Denny.
not getting a Rusty
You're
Crawford
getting
jersey?
Rusty Crawford.
Corb Denny,
First name, last name on the back.
Sammy Herbert. They didn't do names on the back. You only get the number because you had.
Boo!
Do you know why they? Do you know why they didn't do names on the back?
Oh,
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because when you
they're
went,
idiots.
So
the
you're
first-
just getting numbers then.
you're getting numbers now. When you went to the
69.
game, because you had only heard the guys' names on the radio, you didn't know what they looked like. So they wanted you to buy a program, which is why they never put the guys' names on the back. So that way, in the program, you'd know whose name was who.
companies trying
Isn't
to
that
steal your
insane?
money since 1952.
Microtransactions in the 20s or the teens.
Hello,
This is
hockey
literally-
fans from the United States and Newfoundland. It's in the game.
Hap Holmes.
Oh no!
Hap Holmes. That's a name. He's the goalie.
I hope you get to.
He was born in February 1888. I was born in April 88, 1988.
I want to know what 19 tickety-2 name you're going to get to. The Toronto goalie, Stucky Douglas.
Harry Meeking,
There's one name.
Harry Mummery, Reg Noble,
Harry Mummery. We're just going to gloss over that one.
Ken Randall, and Alf Skinner.
Alf
Did you
Skinner.
say Dick Carroll?
No, where's Dick Carroll? Is that 1718?
1718. Dick Carroll.
I don't see
I
Dick
think
Carroll
you
on
gotta get a
Hockey
Dick
TV.
Carroll. This is from
Wow.
You can get it for your loved one for Christmas. You can call it a Christmas Carol. That's right. Get your Toronto Arenas jersey.
Reg Noble, who, by the way, is a Hall of Famer, had 40 points in 20 games, 30 goals, 10 assists, and he was their leading scorer. There was 20 games that year, and he was their leading scorer.
A grueling schedule indeed.
Well, that's when they played. That's when those guys played 55
Only
to
on
60
weekends
minutes.
when they didn't have a shift.
They would only substitute you in if a guy on the ice got tired. There were no shifts back then. I'm not even kidding. There were no shifts back then.
So Dick Carroll was also a boxing and baseball coach. Because it's the 20s.
From Guelph, Ontario, Carroll worked with the Toronto Blue Shirts of the National Hockey Association.
By the way, 1718 was one of the years the organization won a cup. They beat the Montreal Canadiens 10-7.
We're running out of disk space. On
Oh
Okay.
my goodness. Also, I have to be on the radio.
Anyway,
very
yeah.
soon.
So yeah,
my
we'll wrap it up here.
Yeah.
But
Boy, we
covered
I
some
yelled
space.
often. I got to do. Think of the discussion we've had over the last 45 minutes. They're going to let me do an hour of live radio now. I'm going to have to remember to not scream "fuck Frieza" and stuff like that.
You know what's funny?
Punch him in the mouth.
You know what's funny?
What?
After every show we do, Adam does 4 hours of live radio.
That's true. That is true. I don't know how you do it. Other than leaning on Jesse.
I do lean on Jesse significantly. Anyway, we're done. We'll see you Thursday. You know what? Thursday, I was realizing after last episode, Thursday episodes make me sad because at the end of it, I'm like, oh, we won't get to hang out till next
I don't
Tuesday.
get to hang out with you until so long.
When I work out with a guy and he's like, so what are you doing today?
Hurry up.
So what are you doing today? I'm like, every time it's the Tuesday or Thursday, I'm like, oh, I've got a podcast and the radio show. It's kind of a long day. And he's like, you mean you get to hang out with your friends for 5 hours? Oh, that's hard, man. That's got to be so tough.
Tell your trainer, fuck off.
I would, but then he'd make me do squats. Actually, I like squats. Burpees.
Also, can you do
It makes me
one?
mad that you say that.
Can you do one Kamehameha for the end of the show? I don't know if it's going to get on.
I was about to do it, and I don't want to.
Why not?
Because I feel weird.
Steve thinks he's old.
I am old.
Remember to give his booger shot, though.
No!
Internet, this is up to you.
No!
Find out what happens next time on a stunning conclusion to Steve Dangle. Not a conclusion. We're going to keep this going like Dragon Ball Z.
All right, we're done.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.